All right. Hello, everyone.
Good morning.
Hi, all.
So welcome, everyone, to the live 100th episode of PolyCast. As a recognition of that, thanks to everyone for tuning in, and I think we need to hear the show's theme if this works. Oh, yeah.
It's as awesome as ever.
Everyone can hear that? It's not funny, Mackie. What do you think?
Dan is easily amused.
I am. There we go. And everyone can still hear me? No?
No, the internet's totally shut down because you played the theme.
Oh, okay, you can hear me. All right, you're just being funny.
Yeah, no, we can totally hear you. Don't worry.
In case anybody's wondering, there were some technical difficulties that we had to work out here. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be inviting onto the channel here momentarily. We have two franchise reps from 2K Games, Greg Laabs, who's the Civ community manager, and the senior manager at 2K for interactive marketing, Elizabeth Tobey. And a little after that, we're also going to be talking to some of our past regulars. I would like to introduce everyone who is here, and although his time slot is a little later, I just want to thank right off the top of the hour, so to speak, Michael Lucas Smith, emeseles, who is our sound engineer. He is doing a lot of the technical stuff behind the scenes. So, thank you, Michael.
Episode 100.
Hey! I'm going to mention right now, as I was going to mention a little later, Michael has now tied Impaler WRG as the most frequent guest co-host on the show with 7 appearances. Lucky 7.
Is that what we're calling it?
Congratulations, MLS.
So if people want to ask questions in the chat, you're welcome to do so. We're going to try to incorporate that during the audience segments. But I guess I have to introduce the other regulars on the show. Starting with the woman who has been with the show from the beginning, along with myself, for better or worse, probably worse for herself.
That does not sound ideal.
Makahlua.
Hello, Dan. You nut.
Oh, hi, Mackie. Okay, that was obligatory. I had to say it like that. Also,
All right, chat people, settle down.
I don't even know what they're saying. Do I know? I don't have that on my screen.
You don't want to know, Dan. You don't want to know.
Oh, okay. Also, Philip Bellew, TheMeInTeam, who I guess is pretty infamous before he ever got on this show, and now it's just exponential.
Hello, all. Welcome to the show. I promise I'll try to keep the event rants and Space Elevator sucking to a minimum.
No, we love that.
To a minimum.
To a minimum. I mean, I don't want to flood the show. We have other things to cover today.
That's open to interpretation. Anyway, and also Lisa Bang, QNL, our newest regular co-host. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Dan. Hi, everybody.
And I'm also now going to bring in our franchise reps from 2K that I mentioned before. And let me see here if I get the proper window called up. So many windows in Windows. All right, it's ringing right now. Added sound effect for everyone's benefit there. That was me. All right, so while we're waiting for them to... there we go.
Hey there.
Hello.
Hello, Elizabeth
Hello.
and Greg. You are live on PolyCast episode 100. Welcome.
Hello, everybody that is listening out there in internet land.
Thanks for having us.
What other land is there, Greg? Anyway.
I hear about
The
this thing called
Land.
real life. Yeah, that one.
Oh, it's overrated. Elizabeth, you have been on PolyCast before as part of one of our Civilization Revolution specials, but Greg, you have not. Were you warned? Has Elizabeth prepared you adequately to survive this ordeal?
She said to just wear my flameproof pants and... No, I'm excited about being on this. I know you guys are big fans, and it's always awesome to support you guys and stuff like this.
Well, excellent. Again, as I said, thank you for joining. Now, is there anything you wanted to mention specifically?
Oh, I think that we're just up for talking all things Civ, because it's pretty much our favorite thing to do, so why not do it with other people who also agree it's their favorite thing to do?
All right. That sounds good. Now, depending upon time, a little later on, I do have some things I want to get to, some audio I've prepared, but we're coming up on 110, so I'm also now going to be inviting in past regular co-hosts Locutus, Wouter Snijders, who was on the first season of the show, as well as Kelly, KMadCandy, also going by KMadCandy over on Apolitan. And so I'm going to invite them in now, and we will add even more people to the crazy house. All right, we'll start with Locutus. Hello, Locutus. You are live on PolyCast, episode 100. How are you today?
Oh, sorry, I heard two Dans all of a sudden. Let me turn off the audio on Ustream.
Ah, yes. Now, Dan in stereo is pretty awesome, but I don't think most people can handle that, so...
No, it's not.
Oh.
He's been Dan-inated.
It's super awesome. I understand, Wouter. I wasn't being emphatic enough. Gotcha. Okay, it's good.
Just a technicality thing. Do I actually need to be recording this myself?
No, you do not.
No.
Awesome.
Unless you want it for your personal purposes.
No, I want no record of this conversation.
Too late.
Nothing in writing.
Wouter, I think we'll just briefly plug the other Civ podcast that you're on occasion or something. You left PolyCast to go do something else. I don't know.
Does that still exist?
It does. We're referring to Modcast about Civ modding, but you were on the first season of the show, Locutus, along with Mackie, myself, and Imran. Did you think we'd get this far? Be honest.
Well, actually, knowing you, I did. I didn't know it was going to be any good, but I did think we would get there.
Yeah. So what? You figured it was going to be quantity over quality, maybe?
Well, you made it work with ACSR somehow.
Okay. For people who are wondering, what in the heck? That's an interesting reference. ACSR is Apolitan Civilization Site Radio. If you go to apolitan.net/ACSR, you will see what Locutus is referring to. Now, did you have anything that you wanted to say there, Wouter, with regards to the show or Civ as kind of an introduction?
Yeah, if you thought PolyCast sucks, don't try ACSR.
It's good to know the origins.
Exactly.
Yeah, if you thought that this first season of PolyCast is where it started, actually, not really. You will appreciate even some of our earlier episodes more. Now, has there been any questions in the chat that anybody has noticed that maybe we could address? No?
No, there's just been a couple of requests for Mackie and I to do some things, but I don't think I'm going to indulge them.
No, not happening.
There's no video on the show, guys. Relax. No video.
Oh, jeez. Okay, there's a question from Slinko88 I see here. Are you guys going to do Civ 5? Yes, we will be covering Civ 5 on the show once it is released. There will still be Civ 4 coverage as well.
Wait, what? The PolyCast team is making Civ 5?
Yeah, no, I thought they were asking about Firaxis. I'm like, that was announced a little while ago, guys. Keep up.
Oh, yeah, shoot, that's right. PolyCast is actually doing Civ 5. Sorry, Greg, Elizabeth. I know you guys wanted to release that information yourself. My bad.
It's the surprise announcement of episode 100.
We were getting that question back on, episode 50? It was awesome. I'm glad to see we're still excited to get it.
All right, so will we take on Civ 6? Greg and Elizabeth, for your benefit, I think it was actually on an earlier episode of PolyCast where I said that I wonder if, they're going to do Civ 5, and I had made the joke that, no, Civ 5, there's too much pressure. They're just going to go straight to Civ 6.
I've actually made that joke before, too, so I'm right there with you.
Are we going to do a new podcast for Civ 5? At this point, I would say no, that we will incorporate Civ 5 into PolyCast and have Civ 4 and Civ 5 coverage hybrid for a while anyway.
It's going to flow kind of how the community flows. Because for a while, there's still going to be probably about half and half, because some people still be playing Civ 4, and then more and more will be Civ 5, and we'll probably be talking more and more about Civ 5.
Yeah, there was a thread we were paying reasonably close attention to, or at least I was anyway, by Artichoker titled, How Long Will You Be Around? And it was really just a question of how long it would take people to transition from Civ 4 to Civ 5. And I was a little surprised. It was almost 50-50, so we're going to do our best to cover both aspects on the show.
Yeah, I'm also excited about the number of new people that might be coming into the community, after the release of Civ 5. I think with each new release, different people start coming in, and I mean, some people might even get more excited. I remember one person mentioned that he's actually going to buy Civ 4 now because he's excited about Civ 5, which is kind of okay.
We see that a lot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people, they see the screenshots of Civ 5 and it looks gorgeous, I think you'll agree. And so there are a lot of people that look at it and they go, oh, that's really cool. And they'll talk to their friends or they'll talk to other people on the internet. They'll be like, I'd never really given this series a shot. Should I try? And people say, yeah, go get Civ 4 and get started and get yourself pumped up for Civ 5. It's exciting to see that we can get even more people into our favorite game.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of people getting into our favorite game, Super Blind Guy asks, will Civ 5 be available for OS X?
That is something we haven't talked about, and unfortunately still is not being talked about. So you'll have to wait a little bit longer to know any definitive answer on that one. Sorry.
Now let's see here. Oh, question from Woods Nib. Ooh. Do you think religious zealots should give you a Diplo penalty if you're running free religion? It seems like they wouldn't like that. You allow your people to follow other religions. All right, so we must be talking about Civ 4.
That's a difficult one.
Yeah.
I feel like that's an opinion question almost. What do you guys think about that?
I always think about it from game balance terms first. Like, would adding a feature like that make it more or less enjoyable to play the game? And unfortunately, most of the zealots, with the exception of a couple, like, say, Justinian or Zara, if he's friendly or whatever, are already pretty aggressive. So I'm not sure that would be a good move for the game, just because it would polarize the difference between the warmongers and the others even more, to the point where the AI wouldn't really trade with itself, except under, like, favorable conditions.
Yeah, it's always a constant balancing act to... It's not a history simulator. It's a game with a lot of inspiration from history and from the real way that actual civilizations have developed and such. But the chief question that always has to be asked whenever thinking about a game mechanic is it fun to play? Because if it's not fun, then that's not a good game mechanic, And so it's always tricky we want it to be realistic in a lot of ways, but we never want to sacrifice fun for that.
All right. So thank you for your question. Who was that again? Oh dear. Where are you? The chat scrolls by too fast. I'm too old for this. I'm almost 30. Cripes. Woodsnib. There we go.
I can follow the chat, Dan, and I'm older than you. Too slow.
Oh, is that a shot at my last name? G Mackie? I'm getting all emotional. Okay, I'm fine.
Yeah, Dan's not quick enough.
Awkward silence. And you see people...
Well, I was going to say something else, but yeah, exactly. I'm supposed to behave today.
You have to remember, viewers, they've been with each other since the beginning, so there's an intimate connection in terms of the relationship there.
Been with each other.
Yeah, so it's one of those awkward silences. I'm
glad awkward silence could show up for episode 100.
Yeah, he usually doesn't get any airtime at all, but now he's just anywhere and everywhere. So moments like that, listeners, would probably be cut post-production, and just like we're having to curtail some of our more natural tendencies, perhaps, on this show. Again, family-friendly, talking about Civ, and, of course, talking about PolyCast, because, anything to inflate my ego. All right, so we still have a few minutes here before our next scheduled guests come on, and they're going to be people who were on the first season of the show, or at least was a guest the first time on the first season of the show. And as I believe it was a joke from a very old PolyCast episode, it's amazing we have any return guest co-hosts.
You're too hard on yourself.
Yeah, that could be. So I think there was a question about, why don't we release a non-edited version of PolyCast? Well, you guys are experiencing a non-edited version of PolyCast and self-moderated at the same time.
That's right, and you have to remember that... Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Wouter.
Sorry, ask that question again in an hour.
Oh, I was just going to say, our unedited versions frequently go over 2 hours long, and sometimes involve conversations that are not strictly civilization related. And so, in fact, sometimes they are completely unrelated to anything that would be appropriate for a strategy podcast for Civ. So that's probably...
And they would change our rating on iTunes.
Yeah, getting labeled explicit on iTunes. No, that's not a goal. The thing is, we like doing the show, and I'd like to think that we also like each other in the sense that we can talk about non-Civ related things. This is not a job. If it was a job, I'm paid horribly, by the way. I will complain to myself. I get good answers, not satisfactory answers, but at least I get some good answers. And, when you record a show, as Phil said, our recordings can go over 2 hours typically, and we do that every other week. Now, for years on end, I mean, not quite for Lisa and Phil, but yes, by all means, please answer questions. I'm worried about this continuous stream of consciousness.
Yeah, somebody's asked something to shut Dan up.
Oh, now we're never going to get... So the question in the chat from Woods News, what do you think about random events? Now Phil will never be quiet. Oh, no. How long do you think the show will...
I'm referring you to one of my forum posts on it. I'm not going to cover that further.
Okay, Super Blonde Guy mentions over 9,000 hours. If anybody out there realizes that they haven't listened to some episodes of PolyCast, I didn't number crunch for this episode, but if you listen to...
Goodness.
Yeah, if you listen to the...
That's the first.
I didn't number crunch as far as how many hours of post-produced PolyCast there is, but after episode 50, there was a special called The First 50 Moments, and the numbers in there, you needed like 3 24-hour days at that point to listen to every PolyCast production had been released, and after episode 50, I had spent 19 24-hour days of my life editing this show.
That's intense.
So... I don't know why I bring that up again because I'm not sure that really helps me, but it's interesting. And it's a number, and it's a big number, and you are impressed because I said so. Okay.
There we are. Sorry, I saw a good question here, but it went away.
Oh, man, I just realized my bad, actually, and nobody caught it. I forgot to invite... Oh, man, this is going to go down in history. Yeah,
I was going to ask
Kelly.
if you were going to invite...
Sorry about that.
Okay, there we go.
Sorry about that, Kelly. I was waiting for... Hey, Kelly.
Hi.
I don't know if anybody has said anything in the chat. I've been paying attention to this.
I don't think they noticed. They've been too busy making bad jokes.
I just realized that.
I'm sitting here giggling at y'all.
Welcome to the show. Welcome back onto the show. Somebody's
Hey.
never been here before. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Congratulations on 100.
Well, thank you. You're not feeling shunned here that I invited you 5 minutes late. Or 10 minutes? Or how
I'm
many?
having a good time.
That's good. So what I'm going to do here is the people who are lined up as scheduled guests know when we get to our scheduled time to drop people from the call just to try to keep things streamlined as much as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on our first season co-hosts now. Actually, there's one person who is not here. I don't think she's going to be able to make it, Gloria Condor223 Carson. We love you, Gloria, so you couldn't be here. But we do have Aussie KP and also Mathos, who I did little number crunching. After MSLS and Impaler WRG, he is the most frequent guest co-host with 4 appearances so far, and this is going to be his first in a while. So what I'm going to do is I think we're going to say goodbye to someone here, and that will be you, Locutus.
Sure.
Because I know you have to part anyway, and I know you're going to do everything you can to try to erase your appearance from your consciousness, and the sooner we start, the better. But before you do that, no, thank you very much for coming on and giving us well wishes here on episode 100.
Bye. It
Thanks
was
for
good to
inviting
almost
me.
talk to you again.
Exactly.
Yes, Kelly Wouter, did you want to say something to each other before we're supposed to be on at the same time, but, I guess I subconsciously didn't want that to happen. I wanted Kelly all to myself.
Well, because I was his number one fan.
Oh, yeah, that's true. You were the first and only founder of the Wouter fan club, and then...
So you're afraid to let us talk to each other.
Yeah, it's just too much for me to handle, I think. You might be planning a coup or something.
Dan's jealous.
Of course I'm jealous. The DanQ fan club hasn't been founded for ever in a day, and it's like, whatever. I'll just be the silent person as usual, non-excitable individual that I am.
The strong
Right.
patty type.
Is anybody buying that? I'm not even buying it. I'm saying it.
Yeah.
Quit while you're ahead, Dan.
All right. Talk to you later, Wouter.
Yeah, see you, everyone. And but congratulations on the 100th episode. I don't think I even got a chance to say that.
Well, now you have, and thank you.
Okay, bye.
Bye. So for people who are in the conference call, you're going to get to hear an awesome sound right now. Maybe not.
What, the Skype plonk noise?
Yes, the Skype plonk noise. I'm sorry, listeners, you're not going to be able to...
You have been rejected.
until that. And we do have a question here that Lisa has pointed out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to call in both Aussie KP and Mathos, say hello to them, and then we're going to get to that question for Greg, as a matter of fact. So let me just call up the proper window, and I'm going to invite each person one at a time. I just have to remember to invite the second person after the first. It's on the call. Oh, man, we're going to be laughing and crying about this for hours after the show is over. All right, calling Aussie KP right now. Hello, Alex. You are live on PolyCast episode 100.
Hey, everybody. Do you hear me?
Yes. Yes, we hear you. Do you hear us?
I do.
So welcome back to PolyCast. We are up to episode 100. Good to have you back.
Yeah, good to be back. It's been a while.
Have you had a chance to listen to the show now and again since your last appearance?
Not as much as I'd like.
Well, you will get your fill today, I am sure. And I'm also going to invite on here Mathos, get a little introduction from him, and then we have some questions for Greg, because I know that they are going to have to go here. So we'll see if Mathos enters.
Hello?
Answers. Hey, Mathos.
There he is.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello.
Welcome.
Okay.
Welcome back to PolyCast. It's been a while.
I had to hit mute real quick because everything was doubled.
Oh, that's good when it's double Dan. Double Dan, double down. I don't know. It sounded good in my head. You know I love alliteration. So what I'm going to do here is now that you're on here, I'm going to turn it over to Greg to answer a question from DS2 Mopojaki. How much of the Pan-Gen combat engine got reused to make Civ 5's combat engine? And maybe you'll understand more of that sentence. I understand part of it.
I actually don't know the name of that engine that he's talking about. What was it?
Pan-Gen combat engine.
He means Panzer General.
Okay.
The combat system in Civ 5 is completely created by the Civ 5 team. I don't know who made Panzer General, but we're not using that engine. It's just a lot of people draw similarities because it's also a hex-based 1 unit per tile combat engine. So you'll notice similarities, but it is our own formulas and our own combat algorithms for that.
Yeah, they always talk about it as if they're building a race car whenever you talk about anything that they created for the game, and that it's a very specialized tool that they made specifically for Civ 5. So I don't know if that's exactly answering the question as he's looking for, but everything's been specifically built for this version, which when you talk with the guys and you try and get under the hood, which is a bad play on that race car pun or analogy, it's kind of mind-boggling, especially for someone like me who's not completely tech-minded, to see how much work went into this and how much there actually is running this engine that they made themselves. It's just, I'm floored by how much they created in what seems such a small amount of time, given all of that specialized work. It's really cool.
And Elizabeth, bad puns are the hallmark of this show.
Well, good. I'm glad I'm right at home.
Okay, we're going to prioritize more questions for Greg and Elizabeth here. As I said, they are going to have to be leaving very shortly. Oh, a quick question I think I saw earlier from Slinko88 about the a type of certain something. Did you want to read that, Lisa? The audience would much rather listen to a woman than my voice, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Okay. If you say so. So Slinko88 asks, are there going to be animals in Civ 5?
Very simple answer to that question is, I assume he means the barbarian animals in the style that they were in Civ 4, and the answer to that is a simple no. The barbarian system is different in Civ 5. There's a feature up on our webpage detailing how they work. They come from these barbarian encampments and stuff. But wild animals being like an early challenge of exploration is not there. It's all barbarians now. There are, of course, many different animals in the form of resources on squares, like there are like cows or cattle rather, as thing that provides more food for cities and such.
Okay, so there's still like cute little pigs to get it on.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Tile.
Yeah, but no more bears.
No more bears.
Pigs for you to eat.
I can still have my pig iron cities.
I was hoping you were going to mention that. All right.
Pig iron cities.
Yeah, the important things.
I guess there was
Series.
Go ahead.
You're 19, have a Canadian moment. Series 77 wanted to know when they were going to get more info on the mod tools for Civ 5.
That's actually very interesting. Greg and I just came back yesterday from a week at Firaxis where we recorded a podcast specifically about modding. Now, that means that we still have to go through all the editing, so don't expect it Monday, but it's coming very soon, and it was an awesome podcast that we made. I feel like I'm teasing you guys, so I'm sorry, but you're going to get a plethora of information very soon, and I think you guys are really going to like it.
We've said before that Civ 5 is the most moddable Civ yet, and I can say with confidence and coming, from the mod scene myself that is an absolutely true statement. The mod tools that are going to be available for Civ 5 will blow the modders' minds, and I can't wait until we get that podcast out so that we can start talking about it.
And just so you know, I am prioritizing it to the top, so as soon as humanly possible, I promise, never fear.
Oh, it's kind of too bad we didn't address that question when our modcast panelist was still here, but he can find out later.
He might know more than you already, Dan.
What a silly statement, knowing more than me. That's a good one.
How does that ever happen?
Let me address a question, a brief one here from Woodsnib. Will I be singing on this episode? Yes, I will be singing.
No. No. I need a mod mute for Dan.
Seriously.
Can we ban Dan from the show?
Sideswiped.
Yeah. Where's the ban button?
All right, you're welcome. So anybody who did not enjoy that, blame Woodsnib. Thank you for that. I was hoping somebody would ask. That's my justification.
You guys had to encourage him in the chat.
He probably would have found an excuse anyway, though.
I think this might be actually a good segue for a question from Colonel Mustard to Elizabeth and Greg. It's here in the broadcast chat. I don't know. Lisa, did you want to read that? You're the one that highlighted it, or someone want to read that again other than me?
Well, Philip and I both highlighted because we love it. Yeah, we can say it together. No? Okay.
No. We know how that goes. Folks, we have tried to have people say the same thing at the same time on episode recordings before, and even in post-production, that's difficult to make that sound good, so you really don't want to hear that live. Take my word for it. If you thought my singing was bad, wow. No comparison. Go ahead.
Are you saying you doubt our harmonics, Dan? I don't know about that. I feel slightly offended, perhaps.
Only slightly? I haven't done my job yet.
Only slightly.
Jeez. I'll work harder on that. All right, so maybe we'll have it. Phil, why don't you read that question? You actually put it in the chat first.
Okay, this one is by Civ Colonel Mustard, and he's asking Elizabeth and Greg, what's the most challenging part of working with such rabid fans in the forums? I have no idea who Mustard's referring to, by the way. None whatsoever.
That's an excellent question. Our fans are definitely, they're big fans of Civ. I'm a big fan of Civ as well, and, Civ, even more so than other games in some ways, everyone has an idea of kind of exactly how they want the next one to go. So we always get a lot of different ideas, people saying, we got that question earlier, don't you think that religious zealots should such and such? We get a lot of that, and it's good because those kind of suggestions, they can spark ideas and such. But it's tricky when we have to tell so many people, no, it's not going to be that way, or it's not going to be exactly that way. We have to pick one way, and there's always 100 different people that like it different ways. And I think in the end, if we make the game fun, they're going to like it, and we have made the game fun. But It's a challenge trying to please everybody. We do everything we can, but that's the trickiest part is the fact that everyone has their own ideas. And that's one of the things that is so cool about being able to make a game that is so moddable, that in the end, they can get it and they can make the tweaks that they want, and they can add in their own little ideas of what makes cool things and try it and see if it is fun. And maybe sometimes find out, turns out that idea isn't fun, or sometimes it is and it becomes a popular mod. And it's really exciting to have such hardcore fans that are so excited that they do that.
Yeah, and you guys were really smart, which, I mean, that's one of the really fun things about working with you guys. I think it's been like 4 years now for me working in different communities and talking to a ton of different people. And you guys are always challenging and always thinking of these really cool questions. And I think one of the other things that just gets to me is wanting to tell you guys everything immediately, but sometimes things aren't finished. Sometimes things are being balanced. Sometimes we need to, get more in-depth about stuff. And I think that's one of the things that can be challenging for me is wanting to explain everything, but to do it well and in an interesting way. And obviously, as you heard from me being like, I'm editing it as soon as possible on Monday for the mod podcast, it just takes time. I always feel like it's sort of a tease to be like, oh yeah, I can tell you that soon. I've played that, but I can't tell you right now. It's just getting the information out in the best way that'll make sense to people. But as I said, you guys are smart and you're devoted and you're hardcore. You're probably the most hardcore community we have. So that makes every day awesome and challenging.
I bet.
So we're going to be bringing in more franchise representatives now. Talking to both Greg Laabs and Elizabeth Tobey from 2K, Civ's publishers. And we now have on the line Barry Caudill, executive producer at Firaxis Games, and also a mystery guest. Hello, Barry and mystery guest. I'm not going to say what the mystery guest's name is right now.
Oh, are we playing a guessing game? Like 20 questions? Like animal, vegetable, mineral?
One of these things is not like the others, guys.
Oh, it's going to go back into bacon. So.
Okay, we hear something from...
a very young mystery guest.
Yes.
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Hello, hello.
Good afternoon, young man. I don't think that was Barry, but...
Okay.
Should I mute him?
Hold on. Trying to go back into the... Oh.
All right. I think we're just dealing with some technical issues there, but that was a good aside. So, yes, we're going to say goodbye to both Greg and Elizabeth. Thank you both for being on episode 100 and taking listener questions and not running away.
Yeah, it's been fun, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you guys again at some point or another, and we'll see you all online anyway, so it'll be soon that we'll be chatting again.
Thank you for inviting us on.
Thank you for being on.
Goodbye, and I think it's only appropriate that since 2K is leaving, we need to have them leave with a little bit of flair, so... Did we hear that?
Yes, we did. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
See you guys.
Bye, guys.
See you guys later.
Bye. Pretty soon we're going to be bringing on Season 2 co-hosts, those who started on Season 2. We're going to have John BTOS Archer and John Canuck Soldier Rider. But just before we get to that, Mathos and Alex introduced both of you, but then we quickly went to questions for Greg and Elizabeth. So I just wanted to give both of you a chance in turn if there's something that you wanted to say to our audience. I'll start with you, Alex.
Nothing I can really think of, but I'm very impressed that PolyCast has made it to 100 episodes. That's awesome. Very proud to, in a very, very small way have contributed to that. So keep going for another 100.
Woohoo! I like that. Mathos?
I also am glad you guys made it to 100, and I look forward to coming on again. And hopefully for those of you listening, you guys can calm down the Civ 5 forums.
No chance.
Yeah,
It's just going to get worse the closer you get to September.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
He loved you all anyway.
Ban.
And to both you and Alex, we'll have to get you on a episode, quote-unquote, proper in the near future, because it's been a while. But I'm glad you're both able to be here on this episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say goodbye to both of you. And I'm going to call Barry back while I'm doing that. So we'll do that. And,
Hey!
Hey, there's Barry.
All right.
You are live on episode 100.
All right. The century mark. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, even better. Even better now, yes.
I have a special guest.
Yeah, I was teasing the special guest. I want to see if anybody in the chat can figure this out. This is going back in a little bit of PolyCast history to episode 50, which was also epic for a different reason because we had Sid Meier on. This person was working the keyboard, as Sid referred to it, and if you listen to the blooper reels in episode 50, you hear Mackie, myself, Annalie, and Imran getting a little silly, and this person told us, you guys need to really settle down, quote unquote. And that really didn't work, but it was a good try. Mackie, do you know who I'm talking about?
I remember the voice, but I don't remember the name.
Okay.
So I remember being told to settle down.
Sorry, Dan. This was before my time, so I'm not going to be too good with this.
That's quite all right. Barry Caudill, executive producer at Firaxis Games, and the person that I am referring to is Dennis Shirk, is our mystery guest from Firaxis. Producer now. He managed to survive being a marketing associate, and by survive, I mean living to interact with us polycasters. And, hello, Dennis.
How you doing?
All right. How are you, sir?
Doing good. Doing good.
Do we need to settle down?
Yeah, it's time. It's time for everyone to settle down.
All right.
It's better to just assume that you should always be settling down.
Right.
I think I'll take that. If you're not able to be on like episode 150, I'll just take that clip and I'll just insert that into episode 150. You guys need to settle down. Yes, Dennis. Okay.
Barry thought it was important that I bring my settling down skills from marketing to production.
You people, settle down. Write more code.
So far, so good.
All right, and I'm going to say goodbye to both Alex and Mathos now. Thank you again, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
All right, there we go. Hopefully I don't remove the wrong person. No, I did not. That's always fun, especially on a live show, right? Okay. I'm also going to say goodbye to somebody else while we bring these other two on. Kelly?
See, I figured you forgot about me again. I was just going to hang on here. Thanks, Dan. Congrats on 100.
Thanks, Kelly. And we'll have to have you back on an episode proper soon as well, once again.
Okie doke. Let me know.
All right. Talk to you later. Keep on Civ'in. I hadn't said that yet. I'm sorry, listeners. My bad. I've corrected that.
And thanks for letting me ask the question about the pigs. That was awesome.
Oh, anytime.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
So now we're going to bring on BT Oz and Canuck Soldier. If anybody has any questions, again, looking first and foremost for Polycast-related questions. But hey, if you've got Civ questions, I guess we'll entertain those too. I don't know.
We had that one question from Remake 20 about... Here's one. I've never really gotten the importance of a strong navy. Explain.
You mean in life or in the game?
I think they mean, what's life? No,
I'm pretty sure he means in the game since, That's a good question. Just asking a question like, are we going to talk about Civ or something in the chat? So I at least assume that that's on the game. And apparently he's never had one of those multiplayer games where somebody shows up with 6 galleons and forks his cities and then burns the less defended cities on his coast until he's down to 1 or 2 coastal cities and he's essentially out of the game. Really, the big thing about Navy is if the other person's on a different continent and you have naval superiority, they can't attack you, at all, ever, and you can hit them anywhere. And that makes a big difference, not just against the other humans either. When you can do that to the AI, you just take city after city amphibiously, you can often get capitulations or win outright, but just by doing that, even on normal continents maps.
Yeah, if you're not doing that, you're pretty in direct opposition to what you mentioned earlier. If you didn't drive up somewhere with 6 galleys and start destroying cities on somebody's coast, you're probably not doing it right and you're going to lose. Navies are just as important as ground units because, especially with 1 unit per tile, having more faces to attack a city now is really important, even from the sea.
Yeah, I think that with Civ 2, that used to be our back when I was in QA in those days, that was, naval was the key to multiplayer victory back then. Ruling the seas was very important. I don't think in 3 and 4 it was quite as important, but I think it's very important in Civ 5.
As a correlate to that, does the 1 unit per tile apply to air units?
Air units are more forgiving than 1 unit per tile. You can actually have multiple air units based on top of cities.
Is there like a limit on that or something? It scares me from a balance standpoint. Just because in Civ 4 it was also a big issue in Beyond the Sword when they swapped it so you couldn't stack air infinitely. Pretty much whoever had either nukes or like a naval tile with just masses of fighters could completely overwhelm defenses, even for civs that were more advanced than them with relative ease.
You're going to have to actually try it out when you get it. There's a lot of controls in place for infinite anything in this game, or even large amounts of them, because stuff's more expensive to maintain now. John's primary goal with this was not to have it so that you had hundreds of units to manage, because that gets really, really expensive. You're going to have to pick and choose what you do.
I'm just going to interject here. I didn't realize that time is flying by while we're having fun. I want to introduce, first off, the people who I invited on earlier. Oh, I've got a little bit of back. Thank you for whoever that was, a little bit of echo. And it's always me in stereo. I don't know what that's saying. But anyway. Oh, back again. Let's figure out who that is.
Stand by, incoming meteor.
There we go.
John, it was John. Okay.
Air units, yeah.
Yeah, hey, thanks for the sound effect, John. I was well timed. I'm actually going to say hi to Tim Roughhigh-Pratt first of all, because he's only got a few minutes before he has to depart, and then I'll turn and we'll talk to John here in a second. Hey, Tim, how are you doing?
I'm good. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Welcome
Excellent.
to PolyCast episode 100.
Congratulations on making 100, everybody. Wouldn't believe it was possible, but everyone sat through the excitement, and we got there. Well done.
Yeah. As far as not believing we'd get to 100, you join the club. But I'm glad we have, and as I said, glad you're able to be here. And can't remember the last time that you were on. Were you on earlier this season, Tim? I think you were.
I believe so, on and off. When did the season start and finish? I don't know.
With the exception of the first season, which went 2006, 2007, each season corresponds to a calendar year. So okay. 2008 was season 2, and now we're in season 4 in 2010. Yeah.
I was probably on January, February, something like that.
All right. So did you have any questions? I mean, we've got both Barry and Dennis on from Firaxis here. I'll give you priority if you have any questions for them, or questions for us, or questions to our audience.
Yeah, how do you get a pre-release version? I sent an email to Firaxis saying that, hey, don't snigger, this is serious, saying that a couple of guys, I work on the team that puts together the bug mod for Civ 4, and I'm pretty sure that people would snap up Civ 5 even faster if they knew the bug mod version 5 was ready to roll. So a pre-release version so that we could mod up and get our bug version out there faster would be really good. Happy to pay for it too.
I'm not. Who did you email about that?
That's a good question. You talk amongst yourself, and I'll look up who I emailed.
Okay. Dennis, what makes you so fantastic?
What makes me so fantastic? Well, the fact that I get to play Civilization 5 and nobody else does. It's awesome.
Is that enough amongst ourselves, or?
Oh, that's enough. I emailed Peter Murray.
All right.
Somebody asks, Super Blind Guy asks, how long is the Civ franchise going to continue for? 5, 6, 7, 8?
Forever.
Double digits, yeah.
Until people stop buying it.
Right.
It's pretty much as long as people are asking for it, and as long as people have new ideas, it's going to keep on. We're going to keep on working on it.
Yeah, I mean, we never really run out of ideas for the game. I mean, there's so much that could be added or tweaked or changed. I think that we're hoping, obviously, it's sort of our premier franchise. We're hoping that it has really long legs.
Yeah, somebody says it'll end at the end of Civilization, which is funny.
Yeah, was it 2050? Yeah. The Civilization calendar instead of the Mayan calendar.
Well, to get back to the original question, obviously, since Pete's not here, I can say openly he's a noted slacker. And
not here to defend themselves, Barry.
Exactly.
What?
Perfect timing.
But also, I mean, I guess that the normal path would be to just somehow get into the beta team, right? I mean, that would be, I would say email Dennis. So if you extrapolate and take Pete's email address, but insert Dennis Shirk instead of Pete Murray, you could email him directly.
Okay. Spelling on that last name?
Shirk.
Shirk. Gotcha. Dennis.
Correct.
I'm going to introduce first, hello to BTR's John Archer. Hi, John.
G'day, and happy 100th episode.
Thank you. And another John, only without the H in the first name, Canuck Soldier, John Ryder. How are you?
Good, Dan. Glad to be here for your 100th and first live PolyCast.
Yes, the first live one. Will it be the last one? I hope not, but for some reason I really don't want to think about the next one. I'm kind of conflicted.
A lot of logistics for sure.
Yes, indeed. Okay, Lisa, I think you were about to ask a question or something. Oh, and goodbye to Tim. Bye, Tim.
I've got to go. Got to take my dog to the vet. See you later, guys.
Hi, Tim.
See you later. Yeah, so the question I was going to ask was, Remake 20 asked, I want to know something about Civ Network because it was announced a long time ago, and I don't know if we've heard that much about it lately. Can you tell us anything new about that?
No. I can tell you that work is still going on, but we're still kind of keeping it close to the vest. I would say stay on the Facebook fan page and look for updates coming soon. I mean, that's about all I can really say about that at this time.
Well, you could say more, but it would be problematic, so we understand.
I'd have to kill every one of you.
And by the way, to continue the thread, the other thing that makes me fabulous is that I get to play Civ Network and nobody else does.
Fabulous.
Fantastic.
So is that your answer to Remake's question there, Dennis? I want to know something about Civ Network. You get to play it and nobody else does? Wow.
Yeah. Perfect.
Ouch.
I think that puts someone else higher on the kill list.
Okay, I'm going to bring in Michael Lucas Smith here, who's been our sound engineer, also first appeared on Season 2. But he was actually on Season 1 in a sense because he left us a couple of voicemails, kept the voicemail from getting too dusty. And Michael, I believe you in the chat here, you just asked a question about a question that someone had asked in the chat that's kind of pertinent.
Yeah, actually, you don't actually have to call me up because I'm already on the call. I'm sort of the ultimate lurker on this one.
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah, someone was asking about doing the Skype call-ins, and I think it's kind of a two-level question here. I guess I'm going to pick it up from the angle of, why has no one else ever called into the show like I did? And I wonder about that. And you've got the European and American numbers there. Has anybody ever called those?
Yes, if you go back through Season 1.
Not the Season 1. That's
not the accidental call.
Oh, but those were funny. For those wondering and listening, all I'll say is go back to Season 1 from the low episode 20s. There were a couple of people looking for the same person, and they kept calling the PolyCast number, and it was a wrong number, but I phoned them back and had an extended conversation with them, and it was quite amusing. Neither of them were Civ players. I mean, who knew there were non-Civ players in the world? Wow, I'm still trying to wrap my head around
that. Oh, man. I wish I'd been around for that. I might have had a field day with that. I'm serious. That would have been awesome.
The other half of this question was, you're kind of advertising that people can call into this show right now.
That's true.
So they can, right? Someone put the numbers up in the chat. Do you have them? What are they?
Oh, yes. They are...
I'm doing it.
Okay, thanks. I actually have it call up. The North American number is... okay, Lisa just put it in.
Yeah, there you go.
There in the chat. You can also, with your Skype account, if you have Skype, you can call the PolyCast. Now, I hope I have it figured properly. Let me just double check here before people try. I just want to check one thing. I thought I'd set this up. Let me see appropriately.
So somebody asks, Super Blind Guy again, asks, and Bantams, actually, they asked the same question. No, they didn't. Okay, Bantams asked, has a patch been made for Civ 5 yet?
It's not even out.
For it yet. I know. Is it even a gold master yet?
I guess in a way, since it hasn't mastered, you could say that we're always patching it. But That's
They're called builds
really
now.
true. No. Let's say no.
And the other question by Super Blind Guy is Civ 5 going to end at 2050?
Civ 5 is going to end at 2050, although probably about 10 minutes after release, somebody will have changed that.
Yeah.
Is there like an expanded future tech tree in Civ 5? Because in Civ 4 it just sort of ends with future tech, future tech, future tech.
Well, there comes to a point where you just don't have an option for that, because if you want to keep playing, you can only go so far. Now, we did go a little bit further down the tech tree than we have before in terms of cool stuff to build, but eventually you always have to end up at future tech unless we start making a different game.
And I guess my other question that I'm really excited to see when the game comes out, are there space units like satellites?
Well, you'll just have to wait to see till the space, till the game comes out. You were talking to Greg Laabs earlier. I believe there's some content coming out shortly that he's going to be highlighting, some community stuff, the tech tree, and some other odds and ends.
One of the figurines is a little mech, right? So that's sort of future tech right there.
It is kind of future techy, isn't it?
Ooh.
I bet you probably need to talk further about.
Yeah.
Are we being vague enough?
Yes.
Let us know.
We're trying. And by the way, I just want to say that in terms of the PR team, the deluxe edition with the miniatures was actually really, really, really awesome to see. Just on a side note, I think I'm an old school tabletop gamer, so just seeing that is really cool. Now I'm just going to have to bring myself to actually crack mine open. I'm worried to break the seal.
I have a very important question which nobody in the chat has asked yet, and that is, in Civ 5, will there be girls playing Civ?
Yes. Yes, always.
Maybe we should just organize a boycott or something. No more girls. All 2 of them are not going to be, all 4 of them are not going to be playing.
Yeah, the 10 of us total in the entire internet are going to stop playing with the rest of you.
Girls playing Civ.
It had to be said. Girls playing Civ? Okay, there we go.
We actually have girls to look here, so.
Do they play Civ?
Yes, they do.
They do.
Not just because it's their job.
That's what they say anyway.
Oh.
I don't know,
See,
because
this
the
is the stuff
difficulty
that
levels
starts
we
getting
played at, it feels
edited
like a job.
No, come on, that's ridiculous. I know quite a few people, like, personally, other than PolyCast co-hosts and guests that play the game that are, in fact, female, at least as far as one can verify that. So, you know,
Makahlua actually a guy, and I'm just his girlfriend. I'm
yeah, but she's on the show constantly, and you know he tells her what to say. So yeah.
So people who are trying to call into the show, I'm not quite certain why you're going to voicemail now. I have it set so that it, first off, doesn't automatically go to voicemail, and that I actually have disabled sending unanswered calls to voicemail just to avoid that completely. So I'm not quite certain why that is. So if you would like, you probably don't want to broadcast your phone number on the channel, understandably, or whatever. I was trying to think that I could phone you.
You could message the PolyCast in Skype with your phone number, and then he'll be able to call you.
Yeah, I think that would work.
This is how we get Dan to get like $1,000 phone bill. Just he has to call everybody all over the world.
All right. And we can hear it in the background. We're calling one of our listeners right now. Oh, and I get a busy message. Well,
saying not to call, I think.
Pardon me. Okay, I shouldn't have done so.
I missed that part after the censored line in text there where he's saying, "Don't call me."
Don't call us, we'll call you.
Yeah.
All right. So call you back in a second here, or actually, since you're in the group right now, Stephen, you can just click the join call button when you're ready. Let's go to some questions here from the chat. Anybody want to jump in with that? Go ahead.
Two here from Series 77. The first one was, he wanted to know if the wonders shown on the box art are actually in the game.
I would have to revisit the box art to see. I think it may be the case, if I remember right, like with Civilization 4, where they have a lot of different art in the game, and some of them are on the box that aren't actually in the game just for aesthetics. But
I'm pretty sure.
I'd have to look. Most of them are probably in there, but Barry might even bring it up now and we can look.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
We'll revisit in a second.
And he also wanted to know if the Coliseum was going to be a wonder instead of just a building this time around.
No, the Coliseum is a building, and very important.
Ooh, happiness issues.
Yes.
Well, we wouldn't want ICS coming back.
Oh, of course, yes. I see a few in the background there on the box that are fun to look at, but they're not actually in the game. Yes. Well, see, you're going to make me reveal the Wonder List now, aren't you? I will throw out the Leaning of Tower of Pisa I see on there, which is not part of the game. So there's one or two in there. I think that's all I see is two. I'm not sure what that is. I don't recognize it off the top of my head.
The pointy one on the right, next to the Eiffel Tower, we don't even know what that is.
You should have brought John, the history major, along.
Yes. But everything else on there is in the game.
All right, there you have it. We answered that.
Cool.
So now you're going to go and flesh out your Wonder Lists now as we speak.
Pretty much. Yeah, somebody asks, Paradigm Shifter asks, is Civ 5 stable, or is it just all the bugs are holding hands? I don't know what that means, actually, holding hands, but okay.
Negative.
Civ 5 is absolutely stable until somebody finds a bug.
Good answer.
No, actually,
that answer is awesome.
The new engine we wrote is incredible. We actually went down a path that we've never gone down here before, which is creating an engine from scratch. And I gotta say, naturally, with an engine from scratch, there's a lot of risk to that because you don't get to use Unreal or you don't get to use Gamebryo, these things that have this foundation. But we wanted to make an engine that was actually built just for Civ. So you have a lot of issues that come along with it, but we've got a great QA department up at 2K. There's a lot of people banging on the game, and we'd like to think that when we hit, it's going to be just really great. I will say, if you want a really awesome experience, upgrade from that X800 ATI you've got in your machine at home to something a little bit better, and you're going to see something really spectacular.
I'm just going to interject here just to say goodbye to both the two Johns. Checking the time here. It is moving on. We're going to bring in the next guests, and we're going to take more of your questions. BT Oz, thank you for being here.
No, that's all right. I know it's very late at the moment, and I had one quick question for Barry. Is there going to be a demo released before the Civ 5 comes out?
Yes, there will.
Oh, can't wait.
That's awesome news. Yeah.
When do you think it'll be coming out?
I'm not sure if they announced it.
I don't know if it's been announced. Definitely, prior to launch. It's one of those things where we can't step on marketing and PR's toes. If they haven't announced something, and I were to announce it, that would be bad. So definitely prior to launch, which is September 21st. That's been announced. I can tell you that.
You can re-announce.
But, it should be a good demo too. I mean, you'll be able to see what the engine's doing and stuff like that. We're very, as Dennis said, we're very proud of where the engine is. It actually began life as the PS3 engine for Civ Revolution because we were having a little bit of trouble with the other engine. What was running on 360 wasn't running on the PS3, so this engine sort of started life as that rendering engine and has taken on a whole life of its own since then.
All right. Thank you, John.
That's okay.
Goodbye. And Canuck Soldier, thank you also for being here.
Thank you very much. I'll be short since the other John took up all the time here, and hope I'll be back soon.
All right. Talk to you later. And just as an extension of BTOS's demo question, will it be similar to the Civ 4 one, so you'll have X number of turns playing X number of Civs?
Yeah, it's going to be basically the full game just locked down for time.
Okay, very cool. Oh my gosh, incoming call.
Incoming!
Add to this conference.
Hello, this is
Who do we have?
Okay, who do we have? Hello on the phone.
This is Doug Rusty Ed Smith.
Oh, hey. Hey, how are you?
How are you?
I do have you on the Skype contact list here with your Skype account, but hey, you're able to call into the show. That's good, and indeed, it came up on my screen, and I was able to add you to the conference. What I will do, I'm going to actually turn it over to Andrew here, since he called in as well. And do you have a question for Barry or Dennis or myself or some other polycaster here?
Well, first I have to say this mic makes me sound really young, but I'm trying to think of a question. I really didn't prepare anything.
That's okay. That's typical for PolyCast, though. Who prepares for this show?
Read the topics 5 minutes beforehand? Yeah, that's about right.
I read it at least 10 minutes beforehand. And do some warm-up push-ups to wake up, honest.
Yeah, I just warm up coffee to wake up.
I normally spend quite a bit of preparation time, but
We can ask
then I
a
don't
couple
say
questions.
Oh, you got a question for Andrew there, maybe, Lisa? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah.
Yes, Dan, that's exactly what I was going to say.
Well, since the Civ 5 people are still on, I guess I could just ask a question from Slinko88. He's asking, how long has it taken to make Civ 5 so far?
We're clocking in at about, it's funny, I'm looking up at the clock right now while I'm saying this. We're clocking in at about close to 3 years since prototype work began.
And Bantams asks, will the demo wagon come to the UK?
Oh, yeah.
I would imagine it's going to be everywhere. Like we said before, PR's, I'm sure, going to talk about specifics of this stuff, but yeah, I would imagine it's going to be everywhere.
Yeah, we expect to ship, all of our games always ship US and Europe, so I can't imagine the demo would be any different.
Now, Colonel Mustard asks, Barry and Dennis, what aspect to Civ 5 do you think diehard fans can most look forward to?
I would have to say that the two things that we've received the most feedback on, even from our external test group, has been the 1 unit per tile aspect, the military side, and the policy side. Those two things alone has consistently turned up as being a favorite. I mean, a lot of peaceful players who are culture players or builders before have suddenly found themselves craving more war just because that aspect of the game is just blown the doors off of making the military aspect so much more fun. It's changed the way a lot of people are playing. We've even been hearing some feedbacks from some early press previews and stuff, how these editors are playing it and they're like, oh, I couldn't believe how much I've enjoyed just constant war because it's just such a great new angle to the game.
I just want to say hi here to Lars Domus. First appeared on PolyCast in its 3rd season. That's right, we're up to our Season 3 co-hosts, so to speak. Hello, Lars.
Hello, can you hear me okay?
Yes, indeed. And also to formally say hello to Stephen.
Hey, guys.
Just interject here, as it were. Stephen, did you have a question for Barry or Dennis or one of us polycasters here or everybody?
Yeah, I'm wondering about Civ 5. Like in Civ 4, you made Warlords and Beyond the Sword. Are you planning on making expansions for Civ 5, or are you going to go straight to Civ 6 after?
Yeah, I'll just say I'll say that I can't answer that.
Well, we certainly don't plan on going right into something else. We definitely have an expansion pack up our sleeves right now, and then we usually just see how that plays out to determine how things go in the future. But we've already got ideas together for downloadable content and expansions.
Cool. Colonel asks, not Colonel Mustard, MMC asks, what can diehard modders look forward to?
Total liquid awesomeness.
Wow.
That's
a promise.
We're going to be planning to release the SDK shortly after we release the game, just like we did with Civ 4, that'll give you access to the entire game core. Some of the cool things we did on this on purpose is we left the entire Civilization 4 game core embedded in there right alongside with Civilization 5's game core, so you're going to have access to everything in Civ 5 plus everything that was already in Civ 4 in terms of functions and calls. The tools that we have, I can't stop talking about the World Builder. I know it comes up at every press event we do. But the work that they did on World Builder was astounding. I mean, amateurs can make scenarios at the drop of a hat unbelievably easy, from building the entire map to placing everything, setting the years, setting who's at war, who's not, setting the relationships, the era that each player is in. Just everything can be done from this single application. It's really, really cool. The tools are just really extremely well done.
Man, time is marching on. I'm going to say goodbye to Stephen. Thank you again for your question.
Hey, guys.
And Andrew, did you have a question for Barry or Dennis or myself, any of the polycasters?
No, just congratulations on 100 episodes.
Well, thank you very much, and hope you're enjoying the show. Have you been listening long?
Yeah, I came in about 5 minutes before show and I've been listening the whole time.
Okay. How long have you been listening to Polycast? When did you get into the show?
I really don't listen to it a whole lot. I've seen maybe 10 episodes over the course. 2008 maybe is the first one.
Well, now, 2008, so now if you remember Imran Siddiqui, who was a regular co-host for 3 years, he couldn't be here today, but if you've listened to 10 episodes, that's probably 10 more episodes than he's listened to.
Oh, man.
Hey, he used to make that joke himself.
I know, but still, dude, still.
That brings back memories. Well, no, he was never on when I was on, when we were both regulars.
Well, thanks for calling in, Andrew, and hope you enjoy the rest of the show.
I'm just going to inject something really quick here, which was reminded me of something on the on the modding front, which is localization, which is not very much fun on the surface to even think about. But one of the modding tools we have is something called LocBuddy that Sean Seckman, our modding engineer, put in. And it basically takes care of handling localization for all languages. But when somebody does a mod, it actually uses Google's localization engine. So they'll be able to do mods where it completely changes the game up into entirely lolcat or Swedish Chef and anything else that Google might have in its library, which is also really interesting and amusing.
Oh, my God. That is the most awesome thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, you can look forward to some nonsense with that. That's going to be interesting.
I want to introduce a couple of other people here who have been patiently waiting. First off, this is our mystery guest, other than Dennis. I'm sorry, Dennis, you're not the only one. He was a guest on the show a few times, and he has many different ways of pronouncing Mackie's username other than the correct one, but he really... He really knows how to take charge, and his first appearance on the show was actually during Phil's first appearance on the show.
Yeah, I kind of know who this is.
You kind of know who this is. Say hello to the DS, J.C. Adams, who is currently on Do Not Disturb on Skype, so I may not be seeing this, which would be kind of amusing. But what I'll also do is he's now in available mode. But I also add in Alpha Shard, since we're a little behind here. And Scott was a Season 3 co-host for the first time. Hello, Scott.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Do you, episode 100? You are live. Do you have a question for Barry or Dennis or Polycaster here? No, that's okay.
Well, for those of you familiar with the Mackie rap, Scott actually has the same problem from time to time.
This is true.
We all have our own way of rapping, okay? We all, I think,
it's very good coming from you, Lisa.
Yeah, I was going to say, she wins the contest.
Yeah.
I don't know. Scott's been pushing very hard for that title. So between the three of you, it's been an interesting time. And just as a note to our listeners out there, the Mackie rap is kind of like, you get that when you're on the Skype call. It can be fun depending on what's being said at the time that happens.
Yeah, we do take some of these terms that we use for granted when we have an audience and we don't usually talk about them. That makes you think of the Canadian moment mentioned about an hour earlier that Mackie said. That is when two people talk at the same time and then everybody apologizes. But then usually when they're apologizing on top of each other, which just continues the problem, which makes it all the more amusing. Or not. I don't know. You can be your own judge. Jeez. Tough room. Anyways, hello, Jim. JC. Whoa. We heard you, but you were...
Is GC on?
Yeah,
It's on, but you're staticky.
You're techno. You sounded very techno.
Let me try closing this other chat window. It's the only way I can see the chat window.
That's a little better. It's still a little staticky, but, it doesn't sound like you're... I don't know, I want to say going over a bridge. No, that's not right at all. Underwater? No, what's...
Going through a tunnel?
Is this any better?
A little bit.
Well,
we can make out what you're saying. In any event, welcome to episode 100.
Thank you for having me. I got two computers here that I've been listening through because sometimes one of them will delay a little bit and then I'll miss something, and so I warmed up the other one right quick. And so sometimes I hear it through one and sometimes I hear it through the other, and right now they're so off sync that I had to take my one earbud out.
Did you have a question or a comment for Barry or Dennis or any of us Polycast regulars here?
Oh, dude, I had so many questions. Barry or Dennis, if you were a caterpillar, what kind of a butterfly would you turn into?
Come on. Earlier.
Monarch, of course.
Right.
What's up, Liz?
Dennis got to it first. The monarch.
Monarch, all right.
Dangerous poison.
All right. That's a classic. Instant.
You're welcome. I do have another thing for the Me and Team. I've noticed your name is kind of ridiculous. You know, there's so many silly things that people can say about you. Are you the Tame in Team, the Mad in Team, the Meat in Team? Does that make you pepperoni or pork or maybe hamburger? It sounds ridiculous. I think what you should do is stop capitalizing the M. You'll be Theme in Team, which makes so much more sense.
Actually, I've had all those takes on my name done before, especially playing like online with like shooters, like Modern Warfare 2. Oh my God! If you start doing well at the expense of others, they can come up with some fairly creative things, I must say. Although, yeah, I kind of like meat, you know, that works. So I'll just put it this way: whatever you want it to be, that's what I am, because you know that's just how I roll.
I'm just thinking it would get rid of people, you know, saying that's TMI.
But I put the TMI in TMIT. I kind of need that association, to be honest.
And so Scott, you also have a question.
Yeah, I was wanting to know if any new civilizations would be introduced through expansion packs or downloadable content in the future for Civ 5.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
We can't tell you which ones yet.
Well, that's fine, but, yeah.
One other thing we wanted to address was Canuck Soldier asks, 2K/Firaxis going to use Steam achievements? And if so, what might they be?
Well, yes, and no comment.
Ooh, I'm excited.
I mean, the achievements thing is sort of, I mean, that's part of the achievements are the discovery, so I wouldn't want to taint it by telling you what they were up front. But we feel like we have
killing tank.
We have to, that could happen.
Achievement unlocked, the full Monty.
Oh, but anyway, yeah, I mean, they're in there and they cover sort of the whole gamut of play of the game. The guys had a lot of fun figuring some of them out, so hopefully you'll have fun unlocking them.
For the record, the spearman killing a tank is mathematically impossible now until one of you are able to do it.
I thought it was always like that.
That sounds like a challenge.
Take it on. I think probably last question for these guys before they have to take off is, unless there's any more, is Slinko88's question, are Civ 5 difficulties going to be the same? You know, Monarch, Emperor, Deity, whatever.
Pre-settler.
Yeah, they're
Pre-settler, yes.
they're pretty much set up the same way, all the way up to Deity, from settler to Deity.
No Sid difficulty anymore?
That could be added later.
Expansion?
The Civ difficulty was an expansion ad for Civ 4, so we only went with the Deity on the vanilla Civ 4.
Oh man, vanilla Deity was so different from Beyond the Sword Deity. The differences are like ridiculous. Like when I had vanilla in Warlords, I wasn't at that level yet. So then I moved on to Beyond the Sword, and you know, gradually got to the level where I could actually compete poorly, but still reasonably well on Beyond the Sword Deity. But then going back, it's man, like liberalism and the BCs and all that. Sometimes it's scary stuff.
Well, you can thank Alex Manceris for that. So he's as hardcore as you guys are. So all right, well, we have to go.
All right, Barry, Dennis, thank you both for being on, and I guess you need a similar treatment to the 2K guys, don't you? As you are departing, you wouldn't want me to forget.
Kick in the pants?
Oh, the clothes coming off or anything, does it?
Yeah. I would hope not. I think that was Phil's line, though.
This is not PolyCast After Dark, and those who are the regular hosts know a lot more what I'm referring to.
Maybe we know a little bit too much about PolyCast After Dark. I don't know.
Anyway, but for Dennis and Barry.
Oh, logo thing. We should play Baba Yetsu.
I don't know if you heard that or not.
I heard it.
Yes, we did.
Baba Yetu. Oh, is it Mackie? Is that a request?
Oh yeah, you may as well ask him to sing.
I already did that.
Now there's awkward silence.
Yeah, been there, done that. Okay, all right. Mackie made a request. You know. There you go.
Thank you for joining us, guys.
Yes, Dennis and Barry.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks.
Happy anniversary, Dan.
Yeah, happy 100th.
Thank you.
Stop now, Dan.
Yeah, we're good.
Was he dancing? Were you dancing?
Yeah,
Dan?
I had no idea that song was in the game because turn off the music, and there was like a link or something on the website to like a performance of it, and I'm like, holy cow, that's a really good song.
Oh wait, it's in the game.
Yeah.
I actually really like the Warlords opening too, and I think seem to be in somewhat more of a minority on that one. But I don't know, it just fits the opening sequence for Warlords really well. And although it isn't Baba Yetu, it's still an impressive opening song, I must say.
So we're going to get back to Civ 5 questions. Actually, but first, just saying goodbye to some people here. First off, Lars, did you have? I know Barry and Dennis are gone now, but did you have a question at all, or?
Not really, no.
Not really, no? Okay, well, thank you for being here on episode 100, and I'll say the same to both Scott and you, the DS, so thank you again.
I haven't picked on Mackie yet.
You can
Thank
do that
you for
later.
letting me on, guys.
Yes, goodbye, Scott, goodbye, Lars.
Goodbye.
I just had an important revelation to reveal. I found out, that it's not really Makahlua, it's not really Makahlua, it's actually Mickey Louie, and that she's named for her real name is Michelle Louise, and she's named for her parents, Mac and Lua. And everyone who thought she was secretly Nikki Reed, you're wrong. Oh, and I would also like to say to KMad, good day.
Okay, you've lost me on the last one. But
I'm making fun of people's names. Jeez, come on.
Oh.
KMad, good day.
Oh, it's yeah. You had to explain it to me. I'm sorry.
Speaking of making fun of names, we have like a Nintendo rep on here, so you know.
The DS reference. Very good, very good. All right, thanks, JC.
Thanks for having me.
Goodbye. And so now I'll have people ask the next Civ 5 question while I invite our next guests, and I'll introduce them shortly.
So Sirius77 asks, when will the next CivCon be? Does anybody know? I mean, I don't know. I was really looking forward to that when that was happening, but.
Okay, there is no answer that I can give to that. I don't think there's any answer that anybody can give. As far as I'm aware, there is no planning for another CivCon, and in fact, the CivCon 09 that was planned did not materialize. There was a PolyCon 06 back in 2006, and if you go to convention.apolton.net, you can read about it, and I did some audio and video work there. I would very much like to see a CivCon come about, and I mean, we're doing a PolyCast live right now, but we might actually even consider doing a PolyCast in-person live if there was a CivCon. So if you're interested in it and you want to get some buzz started in the forums, then go ahead. And if anybody listening to this does not like that idea, then blame me. I get blamed for lots of things these days. It's fine. I can take it.
Aww.
One of our scheduled guests for this time is not here on the agenda. He's on the agenda, but he's not actually here. Steiner Davian, who was at PAX East and did that interview with Dennis Shirk, who we just had on. I'm going to quickly say hello to Izmir Stinger. Hello.
Thank you for having me.
Glad that you're able to be here. And also to Paradigm Shifter. Hi, Kieran. And also to Paradigm Shifter. Hi, Kieran. Yo, I heard myself. Echo. Just close your webpage here of the channel. And I didn't actually hear you, but I heard myself. I can hear myself at any time. But I heard myself. Okay.
Okay.
I'll just cut that off.
He's been informing the show for quite some time now about certain habits or what he's been up to. So perhaps he's having some difficulties on that end with that.
That was pretty vague.
Well, we're family friendly here, but those on the in the chat, they can see. They know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So before we get back to the Civ 5 questions, and I'm sure there are some more. Izzy, did you have a question for us here, or something you wanted to say otherwise?
You said that you were glad you could have me. I'm not happy that I'm able to be here. If you recall from last time, I was supposed to be hiking the Appalachian Trail right now, but I'm not.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. That was going to be for 6 months, right? From April to, is that right?
That's right.
Ah.
My consolation is that I do get to play StarCraft, though.
It's all right. The Appalachians will always be there. StarCraft is fleeting.
The thing is,
Oh, yeah, I like that. Oh,
is that a game?
Ooh.
What?
I know it's a Civ show here, but come on now, that's cold, man.
Well, I hope it's further some consolation anyway, Izzy, that you got to be on PolyCast episode 100, and you can actually listen to the episode that you were on otherwise.
Yeah, I almost missed that because the day I departed was the day you uploaded it.
Yep. And let's see, Paradigm Shifter, we couldn't hear you earlier, but no more echoes anyway. Okay. Paradigm, well, I think you can hear us, but we can't hear you. We'll leave you on the call for now, hopefully be able to get your microphone issues sorted out. Do we have a Civ 5 or PolyCast question or Civ 4 question that we haven't addressed here? I think
Remake is now asking whether or not we're going to be doing this again, which I find an interesting question, at least.
Yeah, I'm not going to rule it out. There are some technical things that I would like to get sorted, and I'm sure Michael would like that as well, so he doesn't have to play sound engineer all the time. But
who says I'm playing?
Good call. Ooh, is that another bad pun? I don't know. You decide. I don't think I'm going to rule it out. I'm not going to put any timeline on the next one, but this has worked out better than I thought overall. I actually do have just the chat called up here, and right now between... I'm not going to count the moderators, sorry, or myself, or the listeners, fans of the show, because of course, if you're on the show, you can't possibly be a fan of it. That's not possible. There's 24 of you between guests and Ustream logged in viewers. So I'm going to say right now, and I think it was Phil right before, a couple hours before we started the show, that in terms of how this was going to go, I was feeling comparable to before PolyCast was ever announced publicly. A little nervous. We had a few hiccups at the beginning there, but I'd like to see this happen again at some point.
You're going to be leaving out that part about the laughing and crying there, Dan? Yes?
Yeah, well, I thought I mentioned laughing and crying actually on the broadcast a little earlier. Maybe I didn't.
Oh, yeah, maybe you're right. I think you did, now that you mention it.
Was there any other questions in the chat? Because I know...
I've got a suggestion for Civ 6. Since we've progressed from rectangles or squares to hexes, I was thinking we could progress from hexes to hypercubes. Yeah? Yeah? Come on.
In-dimensional combat.
Maybe hyperhexes.
Whoa. Oh, you got a response in the chat. No.
Tetrahedrons. We're gonna make our Civ tiles tetrahedrons, definitely.
I'm also going to now bring in, who's been very patient, Colonel Mustard, Joel, who has also been a guest on the show before. Hello, Joel.
Hello, hello.
Sorry for the late call here. Time's flying when we're having fun. And welcome to episode 100.
Thanks. Congratulations, guys.
Thank you. Did you have a question or comment otherwise for anybody on the panel here?
Oh, I asked a few earlier.
Oh, that's true. You did.
Yeah, a couple pretty good ones. Thank you.
Oh, Super Blind Guy wants to know, how are we today? We'll be doing better when this is over. Wait, that's it? Just in the sense that it'll be like, oh, okay, it actually worked. Doug, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. Okay. Sorry, it's just that because you were on phone as opposed to your Skype handle, I don't know, something with my brain was kind of like, there's somebody over in the corner there on the call, but he's there, he's not really there, it's just this number, it's not text, so.
I can't see your name, therefore he's just a number.
Yeah, you're just a number, and, I deal with numbers all the time, and so.
It's been that way ever since I was named Smith,
So, did you have any questions or comments, closing or otherwise? Because I think we'll maybe say goodbye to you.
Well, sure. It's been a pleasure. It's always fun and entertaining, and I always appreciate the humor. It's also been great to show around to call my attention to things I might otherwise have missed or overlooked. Even if at the time I don't appreciate the sections on consolidation in the gaming industry, Turns out it's more relevant than I thought. And I'm also very grateful, Dan, that you continued to keep PolyCast going.
Well, thank you very much for the well wishes. I'm glad that I'm still able to do PolyCast. And I think it was at episode 50, we said, look forward into 50 more. Do I really want to say looking forward to 100 more? Sure, what the heck, let's go with it. 100 more. Woo!
So you're on the hook for at least 50 more.
4 years from now.
4 more years.
Yes!
Okay.
Cheers!
4 years.
Oh.
Good one.
I think you just quoted yourself, Lisa. You know you are on PolyCast when you quote yourself from an earlier episode. I'm impressed.
By the way, we're adding that to your contract now, Lisa. You have to be on the show for 4 more years now.
Oh, okay.
You don't want to violate the contract. Ooh, that's, Yeah,
you forfeit all your pay if you do that.
Yeah, no. Even worse, you have to give back all your pay with interest. That's the real kicker.
So 0% of 0 is 0.
Way to spell it out, Mackie. All right. Well, thank you, Doug.
Oh, so long. Thank you very much.
And we're also going to quote-unquote say goodbye to MLS, our sound engineer, who will now just be slaving in the background.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend hanging up on me.
No. No.
That would be the end of this.
Yes.
Yes, I want to say thank you very much for 100 episodes of PolyCast. I accidentally found you guys early on in season 1, and I've been listening ever since. Become friends with many of you, so it's been great. I love the game, and I love the podcast.
Thank you very much, and as I got to say again, thank you for helping keep the voicemail line from going into complete dormancy. Hopefully, now that people have called into the show live here, you can do that when we're not broadcasting. It will go straight to voicemail, and that's actually what you'll want in that case, and it could be used on a future show. Send us emails to polycast@gmail.com. And what else? Oh, yes, I was just saying thank you to Michael when I went off on a tangent, as usual.
Well, get this phone number for the PolyCast into your phone. Go out drinking with your friends. Call it, and then give your phone to your friend. They won't know what the hell is going on, and they'll leave a funny message.
Sounds like a new
Which Dan will
segment.
put on the internet.
Okay, bye.
All right. Are there any other questions in the chat? We've got about 10 minutes left in the formal recording here. And, that was the scheduled time. I don't know about everybody's availability, including Michael. If there are other questions, we might go over a little bit, because I know we were a little tight for time a little earlier, but we seem to have caught up. Have we? Is that in fact correct? Or am I now seconds out of date from the chat?
I think we have. It's mostly just silliness in the chat at the moment.
Okay. Well, if you're looking for some silliness and some Phil here, and I don't mean Phil as in TheMeInTeam, I mean the FILL. I just thought I'd make that clear.
Thanks for that, Dan.
You're welcome.
Say filler.
Filler. Yeah, English is a funny language. Before the broadcast, listeners, I tested the ability for me to put in sounds on this call by playing this clip. And as many of you are probably aware, the publishing rights to Civ between when it was with Microprose and now with 2K, there were actually, two companies, and it came out to be kind of 3 that had the Civ license in between. After Microprose, you had Hasbro Interactive, then you had Infogrames, which then renamed themselves Atari, and then it went from Atari to 2K. In 2001, there was a song released by Infogrames.
Oh, not that.
It was the corporate theme. Mackie knows what I'm talking about. If you want to listen to the entire thing, go to apolton.net/ACSR, click on Miscellaneous. I do have a very brief clip here for it, and I'm using this specifically to try to get people to ask questions, because you probably won't want to listen to the entire thing. I've got the clip at 41 seconds. I'm not going to have it go 41 seconds, I don't think. But just to give you an idea, it does mention civilization, but anyway. How's the volume on that? Does it need to be louder? There we go. So, yeah.
So the company basically paid someone to produce a love song for their company about how awesome they were.
Pretty much.
I think so. I just thought I would include that. Now, for something a bit more quote-unquote useful, unless we actually have something in the chat here. Question? No, I don't think so. All right, even I was just checking for myself. We know the advisors are coming back in Civ 5 in some respect. But of course, the Civilization 2 advisors are very well loved. And if people who have not played Civilization 2, if you're in the chat, there is a High Council. There was 5 of them. You had military, you had trade, you had science, you had luxury, and you had diplomacy. And because I'm the crazy person that I am, but of course you knew that already because, I produced the show, I went through the sound clips. Oh, what kind of butterfly would I be? Dennis already took the good answer, which was monarch. What kind of butterfly would I be? A live butterfly. There you go.
I don't know.
Was creative. Actually, there's a YouTube video that shows pretty much everything the Civ 2 advisors say from like the early eras all the way through, and some of the stuff's pretty funny. I kind of remembered a little bit as a kid, but I appreciate it more now because that's just good stuff.
I would modify my gameplay just to get them to say something different.
Yeah. So, people, if you have Civ 2, but it is also up on YouTube, yes, the entire clips of what each of them say, each is about 6 minutes for each of the ancient, medieval, and modern. And what I decided I wanted to try to do was, could I go into the ancient files and could I come up with a bit of a script? Could I get them to have an extended conversation? Because that was always the thing about in the High Council, right? They might say 4 or 5 things. I don't know how long it would take. It's been a while, 20, 30, 40 seconds maybe. Was there enough variety in there to make an extended conversation? And the answer is yes. The thing is, I actually have 3 of them, 3 little episodes. Call it, what did I call? I disagree, sire, is what I'm calling it, because that's always more amusing when they disagree, right? Who wants to hear them agree? That's pretty boring. So, since we're in the last few minutes here, each one of these is just over 3 minutes in length, or just under 3 minutes in length. But I have them ready, and I had them ready for here. How many people would like to hear a snippet, maybe a snippet from all 3 of them to give you an idea from each of them? What do we think here? We want to hear the High Council. How long has it been since people have heard the High Council? I'm giving thumbs up, and nobody can see that, of course.
Well, the chat wants you to do it, so I guess we're overruled.
Oh, I guess you're overruled. So, I said I don't know how the volume's going to come across here. I can adjust it as necessary.
Aww.
That's actually Civ 3 music, but anyway.
I remember it.
I'm concerned, Majesty. A cloud darkens our land, noble leader, and the people need entertaining. Quickly.
I disagree, Your Excellency.
I don't mean to be stepping on your gilded sandals, but the government will fall if we don't entertain the people.
You weak-minded eunuch.
I love it.
Excellency, my rough accounting shows that trade routes to other lands would best serve the Empire.
He speaks the truth, Excellency.
We cannot sacrifice learning for luxuries.
Takes coin, not clowns, to keep an empire afloat. My humble suggestion to your glorious person would be to build more caravans and trade with our unworthy neighbors.
Perhaps I could persuade Your Excellency to build embassies so that we may traffic freely with other nations.
No, Your Majesty. Wise men say that only fools run an empire without luxuries. King.
I disagree, Your Excellency.
It's barracks we need, and quickly! That is for His Excellency to decide, Visigoth.
Remember, all things have a price, Excellency.
We need barracks, noble leader. Or would you have our soldiers sleeping on your palace steps? Give me more soldiers that they may sheathe their swords in the beating hearts of our enemies!
Dog.
Excellency, let us make currency instead of swords.
I concur, Excellency.
For it is wealth that moves the world, and profit that rules it.
Would you make peace with our enemies, Lord? Or would you stick their head upon a pike?
You pig.
Our men need better weapons, Lord. Let us put the scroll heads to work on this worthy pursuit.
I concur, Your Excellency. Other nations have knowledge we need. Why not let our dull-witted swordsmen go forth and take it?
You conniving sophist! Most honorable leader, with all due respect, we cannot run an empire without coin, raise the taxes, or hire tax collectors swiftly.
Pay them no heed, Your Majesty.
The Empire would best be served by joining with another nation. There will be time enough to betray them later.
Excellency, I demand your attention!
A word, Your Excellency. The torch of knowledge sputters in your hands.
Most blessed leader, let us build marketplaces so that the peasants can barter for needed goods.
Science and taxes be damned, Your Nobleness. The people need luxuries to soothe their aching hearts.
I disagree, Your Excellency.
And there you go. I did the first full episode of I Disagree, Sire.
That was rubbish.
I like it. I mean, as Phil said, I don't know. I think it was pretty good for the time. Excellency, we need barracks.
That was just a test. I was rubbish, though. Can you hear me now?
I remember the
Yes.
Oh, you can hear me now. Worked out the mistake.
Yes, you did.
Oh, hey, Paradigm Shifter.
Paradigm Shifter.
Yes. I plugged it into the front of my computer rather than around the back.
So what's the first thing that's registered with you saying on episode 100? That is rubbish. You know?
That's
That
rubbish.
man, wow.
Properly rubbish, that is.
Oh, I see. Oh.
Properly rubbish. Yep.
Properly sloshed.
No. It's been an entertaining show. I think we really need to raise the lol some, though.
Now, has there been any other questions in the chat or while we were listening to I Disagree, Sire? We are at 3 o'clock right now, so I don't know about people's availability here. Some people asked why it was only going to be 2 hours, and I said, well, first off, I didn't want to scare people away, the thought of, listening to production for, longer than that. I figured, 2 hours, that's a decent length movie, right? Most people probably willing to go see. And hey, this is better than a movie you didn't have to pay.
We're becoming more and more like Lord of the Rings as we go on.
Movies normally have a script, though, I think you'll find. Or at least a plan. Even if they've not got a script, they've got sort of a plan about them.
Well, now I have to say, before I commit to that, I need to ask a VIP in this respect. Michael?
Yes, Dan.
How's your availability?
What, you want to continue?
Possibly. Maybe for a little while.
More PolyCast.
I know. Are you? But, if you got stuff planned, then I'll definitely have to wrap it up. But I just thought I'd ask before I start committing to things and saying people, yeah, you can call back into the show if you want. And Michael's thinking, what are you doing, Dan?
No, you just wanted to embarrass me on air by saying, no, I've got nothing better to do.
Well, I'm embarrassing myself in the process.
Dude, we're all on PolyCast. No one's got anything better to do. Surely.
We get made fun of by this.
Starcraft. We'd definitely be doing it. Come on.
Yeah, see, we record on Saturday mornings. So, the joke is like, oh, sure, I'll come on the show. I got nothing better to do on a Saturday morning.
Let me just play this and then I'll mute myself again.
The only thing worse than being talked about is not being talked about.
Well, who do you think's going to be doing tech quotes in Civ 5? Does anyone know?
I'm doing it. I'm doing it myself. I will be doing all of the tech quotes in Civilization. Crap, spoiler.
No, we need a woman. Come on.
Yes, play Satellites Tech. Play Satellites Tech.
Beep, beep, beep.
Nobody's got it on tap.
No.
Darn it. Beep, beep.
If they're going to pay good money, they should get Stephen Fry, surely, to do the tech speak.
Oh, hang on here.
Surely.
I've seen that suggested somewhere before. That would be awesome.
He's got the best voice, and
Their
he's very
audience is not really
intelligent.
American. We saw Stephen Fry. I was excited by Martin Sheen's voice in the preview video, but there's no guarantee that he's.
That doesn't make any sense. But
I'm going to see if I can fulfill Mackie's request here. Oh, I was about to, but then I realized I don't have that with the 5. Sorry, Mackie. I realized if I do that and I let it go to the end and I don't have the 5-second buffer, then there'll be technical.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it for you, Mackie.
Thanks, Michael.
1 second, I just gotta find it. Which one are we doing? We're doing satellites, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
satellites, tech satellites. Yep.
We don't want the multiplayer one, which just says ding.
Nope.
Okay, here we go.
Beep, 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 beep.
Yeah, a lot of people misquote Leonard Nimoy and only give 3 beeps. It's actually 4.
Well, he's in turn quoting Sputnik, is he not?
He doesn't have to.
He's actually misquoting
Spock.
Sputnik because Sputnik didn't stop beeping.
Beep, 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 beep. Oh god! The first time I heard that when I played Civ 4, I just died laughing.
I've got a pocket bullseye though, so I should introduce this at this point.
I did want to mention Imran earlier. He wasn't able to be here. He was on for 56 episodes, first 3 seasons, and Cardamandua, Annalie, who was on for 25. There we go, 25 episodes. She was also not able to be here. But we've gone through everybody else. So what I'll do now is I'll start with Izzy here. Izzy, did you have anything else that you wanted to say or ask or?
Yeah, I was wondering if you guys anticipated one of those backlashes where people, when Civ 5 came out, refused to play it and thought it was the worst game ever, kind of like happened when Civ 4 came out and people stuck with Civ 3, and no doubt it's before my time, but when Civ 3 came out, they refused to play it.
I have no doubt in my mind that there will be some people who do that.
Yeah, because there's already people whining about the Steam part.
Exactly. Yep. And there'll be some people that will give it a chance after a little bit of whining, and they'll stick with it, or they'll go back. Because as Macu's getting at, there are people saying now that they're not going to play Civ 5.
Yeah, well, 1 unit per tile and the new rules, it's just going to be a fundamentally different game on some aspects, just by looking at those things, along with the hexes. Although, in my opinion, that changes the game less than the 1 unit per tile thing. So how people adapt to that, I'm sure a lot of will, and probably the majority of people eventually will, but you just know at first you're going to have some of those, and we've been doing TV tropes here in the chat there, so I'm just going to say it. They changed it, now it sucks. Yeah, we're going to have some of that. So, and what can you do?
Probably I'll have to start out on settler level and be a little humble and learn the new mechanism, but I wouldn't be surprised if once we got into it, a lot of people would be saying, like, man, how did we ever live without this? I mean, just think back. How did you live your life before you knew about Civilization, the computer game? I don't know. It's a blur. It's amazing I made it before I found Civ.
I was too young.
I mean, Lisa wasn't even born yet.
Before I can run Civ 5, I think. That's my fear.
Yeah, I haven't released the system requirements yet, so I'm going to go out on a limb and say they're going to be maybe a little higher than Civ 4. I don't know. They won't. Even better. They won't be Civ 4's requirements. I'm so helpful.
Yeah, I mean, I'll get 30 minutes in between turns with Civ 4 anyway, so.
Well, thank you again, Izzy, for coming on, and to you as well, the Paradigm Shifter. I'm glad you were able to get your technical issue sorted out there. And also to you as well, Joel.
Thanks for having me. Congratulations. Glad to have been here.
Congratulations on 100.
Thank you, Izzy. Has there been any other questions in the chat that are Civ and PolyCast related and appropriate that we missed? Ooh, strangely silent all of a sudden. What's going on?
I'm still here. I haven't found any yet.
Oh my god, oh yeah, I had my microphone muted. I'm sorry. Because I was saying things and he's like, oh, it's really silent. I'm like, I'm talking.
So, let's see. I'm actually looking in the chat right now. How about we get all the chat people to come on the show? We can...
if you want absolute chaos, just add everybody, and then no one will be able to understand a word. But it'll be good times. Yeah.
Not at the same time.
I was also going to say, if you want Skype to crash up on us, that's a great way to do it.
If you want to hear the largest panel for PolyCast was episode 12, right after Beyond Civilization 4 Beyond the Sword was announced, entitled Beyond the Dozen, where there are actually 12 of us on there. It was an interesting experiment, but not one we tried again for technical reasons, as well as just the ability to manage people. I guess what I really should do, actually, especially since now we're in the after show, when we record an episode, we will do the closing after we've talked about the topics, and sometimes we forget those summaries. People who listen to the show know the summaries that you hear at the beginning after the introduction where we say, in forum talk, we discussed da-da-da-da-da. We often forget that in recordings, and if you're wondering why it's only me saying it, it's because I added in the last few minutes before the episode is supposed to be finished, and Dan's very sad face at that point. So, what was I going to say? So, what I would like, just my fellow regular co-hosts here, if they have anything that they would like to say, just in kind of conclusion here, so we make sure that we actually have that in. I'll start actually with our junior-most co-host, Lisa.
I want to congratulate Dan and all of us really, for getting to 100 episodes, although I guess Phil and I haven't actually been here that long. This went a lot better and a lot more smoothly than I expected. So, yeah, I don't know. It's been an awesome 100th episode, and I want to thank all the viewers for, watching and coming in with questions, because that's really appreciated. That's the interactive component. That was cool.
Okay, and
no video ever.
Thank you.
No video of us, anyway. There could be other video. All right, so how about you there, Phil?
I got the hugest hands, and I just might use them, man. Now, I'd like to thank you all for listening. Hope you enjoyed the show. And, if you want video, I have some on YouTube, but you're not going to see Mackie or Lisa on there. Just run-of-the-mill Civilization, maybe a couple other games. We'll see.
And, of course, to Makahlua, or we say Mackie, to try to avoid people saying it incorrectly. It's much more fun when people say it incorrectly, but...
It's become this game when we have new people on. Let's see if they're going to pronounce it right or not.
Yeah, we had some other jokes from the beginning of the show, like my saying shiny, for instance, which I haven't done that much of recently. And, of course, girls playing Civ, which is just understood to be the case. But you're mispronouncing your username. That is just timeless. But in all seriousness, Mackie, you said you've been with me on the show since its inception. You agreed to it just when it was an initial plan, and I wasn't prepared.
Since Dan was randomly PMing people going, do you want to be on a podcast?
Yeah, trying to, not wanting to make even the idea public. If you go to apolton.net/ACSR, you can see what came right before PolyCast, which was essentially me reading Civ News. Which
yeah.
Which probably sounds more exciting than it actually is, so take that to heart. But I just want to take this opportunity to thank also Philip and Lisa as well, but especially to you, Mackie, for being here since the start. And it's been an incredible ride. I'm glad it's continuing. It's amazing that we're at episode 100, and I'm sorry your predictions of we're going to run out of things to talk about didn't come true.
I knew you were going to bring that up. You're just lucky that Civ 5 is about to come out, because it's starting to get a little reaching into the, hey, we talked about this once, let's talk about it again bucket.
But...
you're on contract too, Mackie. You might be our senior here, but between the Makahlua versus Mackie thing and this, and I don't know, we might have to find a scab.
Oh, wow.
Losers.
And of course, also remember the comment you made about why do you guys keep encouraging us to the audience? Well, they do.
Yeah, really. Why?
So did you have any closing comments, questions, concerns?
Oh, awkward.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot. I can sing some more if you like, if that would help.
No, that would not help. Speaking of concerns, stop it.
Rap?
Stop it. No rap. No rap, no singing, no beatboxing, no whistling, no humming.
Ah, darn, I was hoping you wouldn't say humming.
Has she left something out?
That's what I was trying to think. Have I left anything out? No clapping.
Ha! What else is there? Oh. There you go.
That's covered under beatboxing.
I'm going to say no.
Is it really? Coming from Dan, does that count? It is beatboxing?
Yes.
I was going to interpret it how I wanted to, so... That's Mackie's closing, telling me to not do things. Okay, well, it's some...
KMad wants yodeling. Let's do it.
Yeah, Mackie hasn't said that yet. Yodeling.
No,
It's too late. It's too late. I'm sorry.
Sigh. Oh, no.
All right, so we do have some people that want to come back on for a little bit here, saying welcome again, I think, to the DS. Maybe. Ring, 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 ring. I don't know, are there any other questions in the chat to address? Oh, hey, DS, welcome back.
Okay, I think I'm now.
Yep, what can we do for you?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Now I got to close the chat window again, and so anyone who's trying to chat, you're just going to have to remind me of any cool conversations that are going on.
No problem.
Don't worry, as mods, we are strong-arming them as we speak.
Yes, thanks to Lisa, Phil, and Mackie for their efforts in that respect. But Jim, you wanted to come back on for some reason, I assume.
Yeah, I wanted to say congratulations for making it to 100, and I had some other stuff that I was going to say, but I think the thing that I really want to say, though, is while the four of you guys were talking just there, I think that would have made for a really good end of the show, and I feel like maybe I've just ruined it.
No, it was ruined before it ever started. It's okay. It's all right.
Editing magic. Oh, hell.
Yeah, it's going to be... yeah, we kind of can't rely on that this time, man.
Somebody suggested doing this again, actually, for the release of Civ 5 in September. So, I don't know. That's an idea.
Someone also suggested we do this like every 10 episodes.
Every 10, really? That's an interesting... It's a nice round number. I'll give them that. I do like that aspect of it, but...
every 100 sounds just about right. No.
Yeah, so in 4 more years, like Lisa says.
You're on contract for that too now, Dan, just so you know.
You're right. Except when you're wrong. I set these contracts. What am I talking about? Jeez.
No, that was changed a little bit while back. You were not aware of it, but your agent affirmed that it was legally possible to do that for you. So yeah, you're stuck too.
Jerk. Okay. He's a jerk.
Yeah, this conversation requires a specific sound effect.
Uh-oh.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
I need you to send me that. I need to know how you're pulling that from your computer, or just send it, one or the other, because I really want to use that as my phone's ringtone. That would be awesome.
That's magic.
I remember when I first used to play, I used to just jump out of my chair whenever I heard that noise, because I never cared more. I was just like, oh my god.
All right, so I'm going to invite 2 other people in here. We both have Steven, who's coming back, as well as MMC, Stuart Rice. I think he's Evo Gamer in the chat channel right now, and Stuart has been a guest on the show a couple of times. So let's go ahead and invite those individuals back. And I'm actually remembering to invite both of them at the same time. Oh, Stan in stereo. I love it. Oh, and it went away. Oh.
Yeah, you should have heard what I was hearing. I'd hear an entire conversation, and then I'd hear it a second time, and then I'd hear it a third time, and then I'd hear it a fourth time.
And the 5th time?
Well, actually, it only came about 3 or 4 times. I was lucky that it didn't go along any longer than that, but most of the time while I was just starting into the conversation, I just had to assume I was talking into dead air.
Oh.
Aw. Now, okay. Hello, Stuart.
Hello.
Welcome on to the after show of PolyCast episode 100.
Thank you.
Did you have an opening comment or question or both?
Woohoo.
Well, that works.
That's pretty enthusiastic there, man. Why don't you settle down?
Yeah, like woo-boo.
Yeah. You want to go take 2 on that? No, I'm just kidding.
Good thing you can edit this, right?
I could.
When you say take 2, you should have played that music that went,
Take 2 or 2K?
Yeah, see, that's the problem. Yeah. Welcome back also to you, Stephen.
Hey, guys. Sorry?
Go ahead. I was about to say, what can we do for you now?
Just want to say thanks, guys, for 100 episodes. I only started watching around 75 because I came late in the Civ, but thanks. Hope you guys go for another 100.
Oh, thank you. So if you came in at episode 75, then you got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah.
I think we're getting to even the end of the after show.
Well, definitely in this context.
Thanks, the show is almost over.
Did someone say that, or was that the computer that did that?
No, that was Michael that for us.
Okay.
That was me, the Civ 5 engine.
Oh no, it's sentient. Run!
Skynet. Forget girls play Civ, Skynet plays Civ.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know. I think I prefer girls play Civ.
Skynet will give you love, but you might not like it, that kind of love.
Oh, boy.
You petty humans don't get economy bonuses.
Are there any other questions in the chat? Did anyone else in the conference call here have questions or comments, PolyCast related, Civ related?
Well, I have a question, but I don't think it's PolyCast or Civ related.
Okay, we'll save that for another time then. Is anybody in the chat or on the call then would like to hear the next episode of I Disagree, Sire?
Yes.
I'm going to decline that particular honor.
We can discuss that whole thread that I was finding interesting called Celebrities Who Play Civ. But,
yeah, that was a good one.
Another word.
Yeah, but I don't know if there are any real celebrities. Phil got listed as a celebrity, which is kind of hilarious. Sorry, Phil.
Yeah, I'm not a celebrity. I said that on the thread, though. I'm not, and I'm sorry.
Well, you are now, man. That's
true. I've been part of a live show. Oh, my God.
Yeah, you are a recording star.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Well, technically, isn't a celebrity someone who is celebrated as a celebrity? It's kind of self-making. So if people say you're a celebrity, then you are a celebrity.
Celebrities are people who are known for their well-knownness.
Yeah, well, so if someone says you're a celebrity, then pretty much by definition you are a celebrity.
I like how it was used in an attempt by someone to pick up one of the CFC members, though. That was kind of funny in that thread, I gotta say. That made my day there.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. Somebody, Pollock, said Levin Aronian, this top 10 chess grandmaster, plays Civ 4. Well, I'll just read it. Yeah, I talked to him on the Internet Chess Club, and he says he plays on Monarch and loves slavery. Heard Will Smith play Civ. I don't know. Are there?
Well, what about that author
that
who was late turning in one of his books because he ended up playing Civ?
Oh,
yes,
right.
I know who you're talking about. I was looking that up.
Was it Ian Banks?
Ian Banks, yes, in 2006, saying, quote, "It's all because I became a serial addict of the computer game Civilization. I played it for 3 months and then realized I hadn't done any work. In the end, I had to delete all the save files and smash the CD. It is very unprofessional of me. I had to ask for an extension for the first time, which made me feel just like I was a student again." Unquote. He missed a publisher deadline for his next book because he was playing Civ too much.
Actually, there was another thing I saw was, the webcomic Control-Alt-Delete. The guy who does that, he played Civ for the first time when he was asked to make marketing comic for Beyond the Sword.
Daydreams, yeah, Civilization Daydreams. So you're talking about Tim Buckley.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes. And he commented in his own blog that he started at about 3 in the afternoon, and the next thing he knew, it was 2 in the morning.
I've had weeks like that.
And that was the first time he'd ever played the game.
All right. So, as I said, I think we're winding down here, but I'm going to be honest here. Let's go by as much as a democracy as possible. Who would like to hear from the chat?
Did somebody say democracy?
He's putting something to a vote.
It has been said that democracy is the worst form of government, except all the others that have been tried.
Nobody gets that when I say that in real life.
Our internet jokes, they have to stay on the internets.
It's not an internet joke. It's
quite a well-known quote.
I know.
It's a very good one.
I know. But even so, most people don't know that.
People don't understand you like the Civ 5 engine knows you.
Thank you, GLaDOS.
It is your life.
Yes, it is. Who wants to hear our, I'm gonna get, no, I can't even get the title right of my own thing. I Disagree, Sire. There we go. Wow. I had a hiccup there in my brain. The latest one.
You could rename it Dan's Wacky Nutjob Show. Or is that PolyCast?
Something tells me I don't think that would have a wild appeal.
Well, Well, on the other hand, people would kind of notice that, and it would probably draw their attention. So you might actually want to try that name.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd like to listen to it, actually, but...
All right, so here is episode 2, I Disagree, Sire. Again, with a little bit of...
Yay, one vote carries it.
Hey, if only one person votes, that's the vote that's in. It's unanimous.
I didn't get to say anything.
A word, sire, if it would not trouble you. Let us research espionage in order to obtain information from other lands.
Foolishness, sire! With a good army we can take all that we desire!
And you will suffer my wrath if you continue to spout this foolishness. Sire, before our empire can truly grow, we need a place. Let us call it a bank, in which money can be stored and lended. For a price.
Silence, vile merchant! There are other pigs to gut first!
You big oaf. Ponder matters carefully, sire, before we trifle with other nations.
I agree, sire. The very cobblestones of our streets possess more learning than we do. In truth, sire, we suck.
Mind your tongue. This bloody council be damned, sire! We have mighty soldiers and the will to fight. Let us go forth!
And would you have us destroy those whom we could exploit?
Build trade routes, sire, and bring the knowledge of other cities to our doorsteps.
I agree, sire. Construct some embassies, that I may sink my hooks into the hearts of other nations. You'll not regret it.
Or perhaps this wily one has her hooks in you, sire.
He wishes.
Pay them no heed. I cannot let the people's spirits alone, your majesty. Assist me with some luxuries and keep the people's hearts content.
I disagree, sire. The coffers lie empty. I must insist that we raise the taxes or hire more collectors forthwith.
Sire, we must keep the people happy too. Raise the luxury rate in haste, though the taxes may suffer.
The science rate ebbs low, your majesty. May I propose a small adjustment?
And may I propose a small adjustment in your wits, you who would drain the taxes from the royal coffer.
Sire, perhaps our spies or soldiers could acquire the knowledge that other lands won't grant us.
I agree, sire.
Expenses, your majesty.
Expenses be damned, sire. We need barracks, else where will our soldiers rest their mighty lances?
Mighty lances.
That's what she said.
These matters take coin, Excellency.
My lord, let us research espionage in order to obtain information from other lands.
I disagree, King.
Sire, I propose we construct more marketplaces, for all will benefit when the finest goods are traded within our cities.
I disagree, sire.
Pay them no heed, sire.
Silence, keghead.
Episode 2, I Disagree, Sire.
Rest their mighty lances.
I don't even want to admit how long it took me to do this.
Years? So you're saying it's going to be a regular event after each PolyCast? You'll play another episode?
No, because there are only 3, because I'm limited by the clips that are available, and to actually try to make the conversation coherent. I mean, there could be plenty more episodes of the conversations, if they could be incoherent. Wow. I could go for, like, dozens.
If there was money to motivate him, there'd be even more. If they're incoherent, they'd match the rest of PolyCast, wouldn't they?
Hey, if any of the if any of those actors are listening to this right now, why don't you write in and record some more lines, have some more episodes?
What about the actors from Civ'in on as well?
Oh yeah, actually, that's actually glad that you bring that up. We could have like episode 3 of I Desire Sire, and then maybe actually end the show on my about 3-minute Civ'in on clip. I think that would be ideal. But are there any questions in the chat that we should be addressing on the show here still, or is it just a lot of banter, not real questions for us anymore?
I don't think there's that many questions left. Yeah, I don't think there's any.
Not to us, anyway.
Not to us.
Yeah.
Okay. Did we want to hear the last episode of I Disagree, Sire? Or
I got a feeling I'm going to get outvoted again.
Yeah,
I disagree.
I disagree. No.
I disagree, sire. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all disagree this time, sire.
All right. We'll save episode 3 for another time. But
Anytime the computers talk, I encourage it.
Alrighty.
You have to wait until it's new and fresh and people have forgotten the pain of the old ones.
Surprise them when they don't know about it.
I enjoyed them. I liked it.
Yeah, and KMad wants to know how it ends. So, and Michael said he's liking them too. So, you know what? If you don't want to listen to this, then mute yourself and take your headphones off for about 3 minutes.
With either a bang or a whimper, apparently.
Yeah, what I'd like to do, if everyone's all right with that, is we'll do episode 3, and then I'm going to close the show with, called it a Civ medley, but it's actually about Civilization Anonymous, which I think really says everything we need to say about everybody who has been on here, whether it's a regular co-host, guest co-host coming back, or a caller in, that we are all Civ fanatics. And I'm going to thank everyone now for listening to the show as well as our extended show here. We've had in excess of 20 listeners constantly for some time, and that's an excellent turnout, to be honest with you, for something that has never been done for the first time, and putting up with all our technical difficulties. And all right, so here we go. Thank you. I was here for the entire recording. So here is the third and final episode of I Disagree, Sire.
Also known as Please God No.
Why?
Sir, my analysis indicates that by building additional trade routes, we can interface more frequently with other nations, and ergo ipso facto, increase the science production rate.
Trade, sir! Discover it! This is you! This is a clue! Get a clue! Discover trade!
2 words, sir. Steel technologies. That would show your perspicacity.
The man of science speaks wisdom, sir. There is a technology called espionage. I suggest you research it.
Why make what you can't fight for, General? Pay attention to your military first.
Just don't be low on my luxury rate, King.
What do you know, glitter guy?
We need more soldiers, sir. Any half-baked revolutionary can whoop our army as it stands.
Science production rates show an alarming decrease on all fronts, sir. I must insist that we correct the situation immediately. Or at least pretty soon.
Not so fast, Beaker boy. Don't let him fast-talk you, General. We got other turkeys to shoot.
Only an ignoramus would choose you over technology.
Do not listen to this Sobaka, sir. We can take with cunning what he would take by force.
Where I come from, we don't fraternize with the enemy, General. How about yourself?
Sobaka.
Sir, revenues are down and our cash reserves are dropping. Raise the taxes or hire tax collectors immediately.
This bean counter's talking nonsense, General.
Sir, we must maintain our science rate.
Sir, I disagree, sir.
What do you know, Lugnut?
I don't mean to be taken away from science and taxes, Your Majesty. But when the people are blue, the entertainment must be true.
I disagree, sir.
If you want to take your advice from a blue suede fool, sir, then go right ahead.
A word, General. You're sending our soldiers into battle with cap guns and bottle rockets. How about some support for our boys up front?
Don't listen to them, sir.
I have run the numbers out to the 10th decimal point, sir, and the results are clear. We must build more tech improvements.
The human slide rule over here would have you think money grew on trees, sir. I think not.
Oh, your lordship, the people got to be entertained.
And who will pay for all of this, sir?
I don't mean to be stepping on your blue suede shoes, but a land without luxury is like a hound dog without a bone. It's not happy.
Who cares, General? We got other itches worth scratching.
Ah, yes.
I await your further instructions.
Sir.
I actually got a request to shoot Dan, so here it is.
Where's that from? I remember that noise from somewhere.
Well, now that he's gone, I guess it's up to me to say
Oh,
goodbye.
yeah, isn't it like, sorry?
What? Who?
Did I come in late?
What are we talking about?
Away
It
again?
had to be said eventually, right?
Do you guys ever know what you're talking about?
No.
No.
I do not admit to not knowing what I am talking about.
I think this is going to be the final call, as it were, and I'm going to close on this Civ medley of Civ Anon clips. This includes Civ Anon clips from Warlords, Beyond the Sword, as well as Civilization V, a compilation. So I'm going to give the first final word to our sound engineer, Michael Lucas Smith, emeseles, and thank you once again for doing that, Michael.
It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to future PolyCast episodes, and I really look forward to Civ 5, so it's all looking good. For now, I guess I'll just be playing StarCraft 2 and Zerg rushing people.
Oh, Mackie, can you do that again?
No.
Oh, that's fine.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Exactly.
That's fine. I'll just take it. I'll just take the recording of it and have you say it over and over and over.
I would love to hear Mackie do that over and over again. So see what you can do with the editing magic. That would be awesome.
Who will I say goodbye next to? Oh, how about our guests here? I'll start with you, Stephen. Thank you again for coming back.
Yeah.
And Stuart?
For life.
What was that?
Something about getting a life, I think. It's a little late for that, isn't it?
Your life.
Okay.
And goodbye to you, Stuart.
Bye.
And to you, Jim.
Well, thank you very much for having me on. It's been a pleasure listening to you and participating in this show and being able to witness some of the technical wizardry that goes on behind the scenes. It's really amazing. I know I tell you almost every time how great of a job you do, Dan, and I'm serious, man. I know how hard it is to be doing what you're doing. It's an achievement.
When you say technical wizardry, do you mean technical string and duct tape?
And I'm actually meant necessarily mutually exclusive. Is it?
If that's what it takes to create something awesome, then that's what it takes.
That's all Dan can afford.
It doesn't matter what the tools are. It's the final result that matters. If you start breaking open some of your electronic toys, you'll see
very
some
soon
of them
they stop working.
are ugly on the inside, too.
True. I appreciate that very much, JC. And as you people can see from the PolyCast website, for every 45 minutes of produced audio you're listening to, there's probably about 6 to 8 hours on my part in editing. So, yeah.
As I said before, don't you keep all the outcuts?
All the outcasts.
Yes, the Outcast podcast. Thanks for noticing.
Yeah. You keep all the offcuts for blackmail reasons, don't you?
There are things that are cut that I do save. Yes, but
Certain people rapping.
That's just for his personal pleasure.
Especially that one.
I don't have an online identity.
No comment with a capital N and a capital C.
And I'd like to thank you guys for making me feel so welcome when I'm here. I really appreciate that from all of you guys.
Oh, you're welcome. I mean,
No problem. We love you.
yeah, we do this, on a bi-weekly basis, and when you have guests coming in, whether it's the first time or the second time or any subsequent time, we know it's not something that you do on as a regular basis. So, we do have an agenda to get through, but we try to keep it casual at times. Maybe it gets a little too casual, but that's what Post is for. All right, goodbye to you three.
Goodbye.
See you guys.
Plonk, plonk, plonk.
Plonk, 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 plonk. And one more. There we go. All right, so final closing word for Lisa.
Bye.
Well, I did ask for a word. I got what I asked for.
One word, huh?
Dangerous precedent, Lisa. Very, very dangerous. Philip.
Peace.
Mackie.
Caffeine.
I knew it. It's always caffeine. You're so addicted, man.
And, I guess I have to choose a word. Civ?
Oh, I thought it was
maybe later,
shiny.
but not much later.
You thought I was going to go with shiny, didn't you? And I just thought out of context, I don't know if I like that much. But anyway, shiny or Civ, I'll do the alternate version. Shiny! There you go.
There you go.
Man, when Mackie requested it, it gets done. We're going to listen to the Civ medley, and then the broadcast is over. So thanks again for everybody for listening, calling in, chatting, and joining in for PolyCast episode 100 live. We all still alive? Think? Yeah, okay. Just thought I'd check. Thanks again, all. Keep on civ'in.
Thanks for taking the time, Mr. Meyer. So tell you what, give me a little run through.
Well, we've included new civilizations, leaders, units, and wonders that offer an unprecedented level of depth that expands the player's military power and control as they strive for world domination.
Ooh, that sounds kind of complicated.
Complex, but not complicated, really.
I once almost choked to death on a pretzel.
Maybe we'll just take a quick spin through the tutorial.
By the time I got to the industrial age, I was a full-blown junkie. There were times when I'd play the game 2-3 days straight, wouldn't get up to eat, wouldn't get up to go to the bathroom.
You go to the bathroom for 3 days?
I said I didn't get up.
Turn this off, please.
If you think this will never happen to you,
I'm ashamed. I feel ashamed.
you better think again. Welcome to Civilization Anonymous, the last refuge for many Civ junkies. They're your friends, your neighbors, your co-workers, and yes, they are hopelessly addicted.
Hi, my name is Sid.
Hi, Sid.
And I'm a Civilization junkie.
One more turn.
I have no idea why I'm here. Okay, it's a game. I can stop anytime I want.
Is that what I'm supposed to tell your son when you miss his birthday party?
Amy, he's 6 years old. He's gonna have other birthday parties, isn't he? How many times am I gonna be able to sit down and draft a treaty with Otto von Bismarck?
Hey, Frank, Bismarck is not real. Your son is.
Maybe you're not real.
I was living with my mom. She dropped me off here.
For the past 2 decades, Sid Meier's Civilization franchise has been regarded as the greatest PC strategy game ever created. Is it possible for a game to be too addictive?
I thought I was able to handle the power. I've always been a kind and gentle person. But when I was finally able to split the atom, I built me a bomb, and I dropped it on every who got in my way.
I'd erect a madrasa in Mecca. I'd erect a forum in Rome. I'd erect an Odeon in Athens. I'd erect a shale plant in Tokyo.
That's too many erections. That's too many erections.
With me, it's just an all-consuming addiction. And I just want to be able to break this so I can go home and live my life with my wife and our 2 beautiful children.
We have 3 children.
If you ask these Civilization players and their loved ones, the answer is yes.
Record date July 31st, 2010. Civilization 4, Warlords, Beyond the Sword, and 7 on-sound clips, copyright Take-Two Interactive. Copyright Civilized Communication at civcom.net.